Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Won't you join me once again for an adventure in mystery and suspense, where space is as boundless and as unlimited as your imagination, and time is measured by the beat of your heart. Most of us know who we are, but how many of us know why we are? Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. Is each man's lot ordained from the beginning and fated to be, or not to be? Or is it all a random throw of the dice, a casual flip of a coin? Do we tamper with fate at our peril?
Who is it?
Police.
How do I know?
You got a chain lock, lady. Just open the door a couple inches. You can see my badge.
Oh, my goodness. What a relief. Please, come in. I saw this man. He was prowling around in the dark, outside in the back. I was so frightened.
Can you describe him?
Well, he was tall.
How tall?
Tall, about like you are.
What else?
And he had broad shoulders, like you have. Why are you looking at me like that? Please, don't look at me like... No! No, don't come any closer. Why would you want to hurt me? No! No! Please!
Our mystery drama, 3 Times Dead, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dann and stars William Redfield. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act 1. Consider Napoleon. Historians agree that his doom at Waterloo had been ordained some 3 years before in his costly victory at Borodino, a tiny village on the road to Moscow. They say that at Borodino, he lost the flower of his army. And why did he lose so many of his best soldiers? Because he was unable to think clearly. The reason? He was suffering from a severe cold. Why? Well, we know that his orderly had gotten drunk the day before and thus neglected to have a pair of dry boots ready for the great general. And so, in a very real sense, this unnamed, unknown, obscure military servant changed the course of history. Those are the facts. We may ask, why was the orderly drunk? Did it just happen? Or was it all part of a plan? Is every single action on the part of every living thing prescribed, ordained, decreed? We don't know. We're just asking, as will some of the people you're about to meet.
All Area 4 units proceed to 160 South Benton. Reported holdup in progress. Repeat. All cars to 160 South Benton. It's an antique shop. Suspected holdup in progress.
But I tell you, I have nothing.
Easy. If you hit him any harder, you'll kill him. Listen, Grandpa. Be smart, huh?
Take my money. It's in the drawer. Take my money.
We don't want your money, Grandpa. All we want is that little statue. Now, you got it here somewhere. Get it.
Please don't.
Now, you hand it over, Grandpa. You hand it over.
Hold it right there. Drop those guns.
Sure, officer. Sure thing.
You okay, sir?
I think so. There's 2 men.
I know. Take it easy.
Greenway. What happened?
I guess they're dead.
Hey, Red. Get on the radio and get us an ambulance, huh?
Sergeant, they both had guns. One was pistol whipping this old man.
Sir,
We'd better get you to a doctor.
I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble.
They started to shoot as soon as they saw me. I guess I was luckier than both of them.
Yeah, you did a good job. Hey, Greenway, what is it?
I've been a cop for 8 years. You know, it's the first time I ever had to draw the gun out of the holster.
Can you drive?
Drive? Oh, sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll get Smitty to take your car. You come back with me. Write up your report.
Now?
Sure, right now, while it's fresh.
Don?
Yeah, it's me.
I heard about it. It was on the radio.
Yeah, it's going to be on the TV news, too. Before we could even get out of the place, everybody was there. Microphones, cameras. 2 men are dead, and...
And what?
Well, nobody seems to realize that...
But, Don, everybody knows they're dead.
Look, honey, I can't explain it. These 2 men, they're dead. Their lives are finished, see? I ended the world for them. They don't exist anymore. That's what being dead is.
Don, you had no choice.
I know.
It's part of your job.
I know. I guess I never looked at that part of the job. I always had the idea I was a cop because I wanted to help people.
You helped that poor old man today. You saved his life.
I understand, honey. I know all the arguments.
Then what is it?
I just never thought I'd have to go for the gun.
Don.
I feel as if some part of me is gone.
What?
I don't know. When I saw those 2 men dead on the floor, I felt that some part of me simply disappeared. Something in my mind.
Something like... what?
I don't know, but it's something that I felt was very special and important to me, and now it's just... it's gone. It's disappeared.
What you did was absolutely necessary.
I agree, but it doesn't change the basic fact, which is I killed. Listen, how about dinner?
I didn't know how you'd feel, so it's wide open.
Okay, let's go out.
Sure.
Dress up. I'll take you to Ferretti's.
Oh, we're going to make this an occasion.
Well, it is an occasion, I guess. Maybe it marks my coming of age.
4816 South Torrance Drive. Report a man is beating up his wife. Oh, talking about wives. 21, Greenway. You with us this afternoon, Dann?
Yes, Sergeant.
Your wife wants you to call her on your coffee break.
Something wrong, Sarge?
Why don't you take your break right now?
He said he wants to entertain both of us this evening at his home.
Are you sure?
He said his name was Mr. Sanchez, the one whose life you saved.
Oh, I thought it was something important.
It is important. Well, that is, he made it seem like a matter of life and death. Look, I already promised him we'd be there.
May I pour you some more wine?
It's delicious.
My dear friend, I am so sorry I could not thank you earlier.
Look, it's not necessary to thank me. I did my job, nothing more.
Unfortunately, I have been in the hospital for the past week, so I have been unable to show my appreciation. And tomorrow my business takes me abroad for an indefinite period, and so it must be tonight or never.
Well, what do you mean?
Consider this tiny statue.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hardly 6 inches tall. It is pure gold.
It's exquisitely made.
See? The figure of a woman, and twined around her, a serpent. Now, why do I show you this? Because this is the object those 2 thugs were after.
Oh. But why? I mean, what did they know about it?
Probably nothing. Perhaps someone had paid them to get it.
Who?
It could be anyone. That is, anyone who might be aware of the legend that surrounds this statue.
A legend. Oh, Don.
It is said that whoever owns this statue will be granted 3 wishes.
Well, oh, Oh, no.
Oh, don't mind him, Mr. Sanchez. He's always skeptical about everything.
Now, do you know what year this is, Mr. Sanchez? All that went out with the Arabian Nights.
Son, can't we have a little romance?
You say that the statue will grant you 3 wishes, so why didn't you use it to save yourself when those hoods were beating you up?
I did.
What do you mean you did?
I wish to be saved. And you arrived.
Mr. Sanchez, I arrived because I got a call on the police radio.
But you arrived. And it was their 2 guns against your 1. And they fired first. Yet you killed them both. How?
What are you getting at, Mr. Sanchez?
Everything or nothing. Now, I wish to make you a gift.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Of this statue.
Don!
No, please, that's out of the question. Besides, why would you want to give it away since you seem to be convinced that it works?
Because when I asked to be saved, that was my 3rd wish.
Mr. Sanchez, I appreciate what you want to do, but it's illegal for me to accept payment for performance in the line of duty.
This is not payment. It is a token, a gift. Look, I am leaving the country for an indefinite period. I am an old man. I cannot make any long-range plans. I may never see you again.
There is no way to slice this to make it come out differently, Mr. Sanchez.
Are you saying that there is no way I can show you my appreciation?
No way beyond a thank you, and I've already received that. Ella, look, it's getting late.
But, Don, Mr. Sanchez is very sincere.
I know he is. It's still getting late.
Before you go, consider. In the ordinary way, I should be dead. That was the obvious way fate was working. However, by means of this statue, I changed it. In doing so, I also changed your life. You are a different man because of me.
I'm the same man I always was.
You don't realize it yet. So, take this statue.
Look, I'm very sorry, sir, but
You may need it. You may even now be headed for a fate that you may wish to change.
Mr. Sanchez, thank you for an excellent dinner and a very pleasant evening. Ella, tomorrow's an early day for me.
Then there is nothing I can say to you?
I'm afraid not. Wow, honey, this is a spread.
I thought you'd be hungry tonight.
Look at that steak. Oh, you even baked a pie.
Yes, I did.
Look, I'm going to have to start losing weight soon.
Don, I have to tell you something.
Sure, what?
Well, at first I thought maybe I could keep it a secret, but...
Hey, what is it?
Look up there. On the shelf.
On the statue.
Before you say another word, it's mine.
Yours?
Listen, Don. He stopped off here this afternoon on the way to the airport. He asked me to accept the statue.
Couldn't you tell him that I can't?
I told him. I even told him I couldn't accept it as a gift either.
Well, so how does it happen that it's sitting
Well, he said, let me sell it to you.
Sell it?
Let me sell it to you, he said, for $50.
$50? It's worth at least $1,000.
Don, he convinced me we might need this statue one day.
Honey, for what?
Who knows? Anyhow, it's my statue. I have the bill of sale made out to me. Here it is. Now, what would you like me to wish for?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. And Ella, I want your word of honor that you will never use that statue to wish for anything.
But, Don...
I want your promise.
But you can't be serious.
Look, I'll tell you how serious I am. If you ever make a wish on that statue, I will break up our marriage. Now, can I have your promise?
Why is Don so upset? Is it such a bad thing to have a wish come true? Well, it is, according to both Aesop and James Russell Lowell, because both of them said, granting our wish is one of fate's saddest jokes. Even so, and with all due respect to those two great men, wouldn't most people jump at the chance to get a wish gratified? The proposition will be tested when I return in a few moments with Act Two.
Now back to CBS Mystery Theater.
It's a tiny statue, perhaps 6 inches high, made of the purest gold and the finest workmanship. It's the figure of a beautiful woman with a serpent coiled about her waist. It is said to have the power to grant its owner 3 wishes. And would you believe that it's the source of a violent argument between Dann and Ella Greenway in this day and age of electronics and jets?
Don, wouldn't it be something, though?
Wouldn't what be something?
If it were all really true. If we could get 3 wishes out of it.
Now, Ella, I meant what I said before. No wishing on that statue.
Don, do you mean you believe the old man? Well, do you?
What's the difference?
But, Don, how could...
Ella, remember what he said last night about how I happened to be there?
Yes, but...
When I pulled up in the squad car and jumped out, I couldn't see inside that shop. Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's a window display. It blocks your view. The door was closed, and it's a heavy wooden door.
What are you trying to tell me?
Listen, the call came in, you see? It was relayed to Sergeant Carter. The assumption was some passerby had seen the holdup.
Well, that has to be what happened.
How? How could anyone on the street have seen anything inside the shop?
Maybe someone passing by heard the old man scream.
Oh, no. See, I was there at the height of it. I didn't hear a thing. I didn't see a thing. Until I threw that door open.
Well,
but what? I got there first because mine was the nearest car to the scene. Each of them got off a shot at me before I could even fire.
Don. Please, I don't even like to think about it.
Ella, I didn't even want to shoot. Would you believe it? I had to force myself to pull the trigger. Still, when the smoke clears, there they are. They're dead. I'm alive. Could there have been, fate or whatever you call it involved there?
On the other hand, it could just be the way things happen sometimes.
That's right. So, let's let things determine themselves, right? For better or for worse.
How would it be if I wished you made sergeant?
I'm going to make sergeant anyhow.
That's true. How about money?
No, Ella, I want you to listen. Forget that statue.
I won't wish for $1 million. Look,
Ella, I'm telling you.
All this is extremely practical and justified. Look, we owe $12,000 on the mortgage.
Ella.
$1,500 on the car.
I don't want to go into all this again.
That's $13,500. We owe $400 for the new roof, and you'll have to have that dental work done. That's another $600. And we've been promising ourselves an air conditioner for the bedroom.
Honey.
And our washing machine is 10 years old. Comes to, say, $15,000.
I don't want to hear any more, Ella.
Don, it's my statue.
Please, Ella,
What is it, Don?
All right. Right, I'll admit it. I'm scared.
Of what?
I don't know. Ever since that shootout, I've had all kinds of crazy ideas.
Crazy ideas?
Well, not crazy so much as mixed up, and I don't even know if they're ideas. They're more like feelings.
Can you...
No, I can't describe them. Honey, just please, listen, don't do anything right now to upset me, okay?
You need a vacation.
I'm all right. Let's just let everything sit for a while. Hey, what time did it get to be? I have to sign in at 5. Goodbye, honey.
Bye, darling.
Ella, just humor me, will you? I mean, promise.
I promise. I promised. And I probably would have kept that promise. But I was loading the dishwasher. I turned the knob, and nothing happened. I kept clicking the knob, and nothing happened. I was so angry, so frustrated, I finally kicked it. And nothing happened. All we wanted was to live nicely, comfortably. It would take $15,000 to put us ahead of the game. Would that upset fate? I looked at the statue. I remembered the words that Mr. Sanchez had spoken when he left here.
You look at the statue. You say to the statue, I wish for. I wish for
15,000.
Go to 45 Stuyvesant. Lady complaining about a streaker. 86 Heatherton. Some drunk is annoying people. Cancel. Area 4, stand by. Checked in 86, 39, 14, 21.
21. I'm at Collins and Walker.
It's a holdup. Merchants Federal, North Main. Perpetrators escaping in blue station wagon headed toward Interstate Highway. At 21.
21.
Head south to Washington and cut them off. All cars toward Washington and Interstate Highway. 21.
21.
You turn east on Washington. Blue wagon headed toward Collins intersection.
21. If alleyway's open past Jefferson, I can shortcut through there. 21. I'm in the alley, coming out on Washington. 21. They just went by me. 21, they turned left into Turnbull. I'm following.
All units west on Turnbull. West on Turnbull.
21, he's trying to swing around. He's crazy.
21, come in, 21.
Mrs. Greenway?
Sergeant Carter. Where is he?
Oh, they just brought him down from the operating room.
Just tell me. Don't try to break it slowly. I have to know.
Well, as of right now, he's still alive.
Oh, thank God.
We had him trapped. They tried to turn around and get by him. It was a head-on crash.
I want to see him.
Sure. Come inside with me.
Come in. I'm Dr. Morris.
Doctor.
He's still unconscious.
But why?
We're doing everything we can. He's surrounded with intensive care.
But really...
Mrs. Greenway, there are different methods of handling a thing like this. I could build up your hopes or
you can tell me the truth.
I can tell you what appears to be the truth. To us, at this time.
He's not going to make it.
The outlook is not good.
Why is the outlook not good?
There's been an unbelievable shock to his system.
Yes.
There's been some, not very much, but a little brain damage. Nurse, maintain the indicated levels of fluids and oxygen and report even the slightest changes immediately.
May I stay here for a while? I promise not to get in anybody's way.
Of course. Excuse me.
Mrs. Greenway, if there's anything any of us can do...
Thank you, Sergeant.
It's guys like him. God, what's the use? It's usually guys like him who get it. You know, it's funny. He might have had a premonition about it.
What are you saying, Sergeant?
Oh, I don't know. I was just thinking aloud.
No, tell me. Tell me what you mean by a premonition.
Well, it's just how things work out, you know. A couple of months ago, we got this new Benevolent League special insurance, and Dann never paid any attention to it. But this morning, before going on duty, he said to me, "Hey, Sarge, hand me a form. I'll sign up."
He signed up for special insurance this morning?
Yeah.
How much insurance?
How much? Well, let's see if I can remember. Oh, sure. It was the same as mine. $15,000.
morning, Ella Greenway stood before a tiny gold statue and wished for $15,000. Taken by itself, we could call it an act of superstition. Now, 14 hours later, her husband is dying, and we find he has just insured his life for, you guessed it, $15,000. Rarely is superstition so scientifically supported by mathematics. We'll have another set of numbers when I return shortly with Act 3.
WBBM, Chicago, News Radio 78.
If you could have 3 wishes, would you take them? Ella Greenway was warned. Stay with what fate has planned. Accept destiny. Don't improvise. But all she wished for was a modest sum of money to keep up with the cost of living. However, it turns out the price she must pay for the money is her husband's life. 1 wish down. 2 to go.
I don't want the money. I don't want that.
Mrs. Greenway.
Huh?
Mrs. Greenway?
What? Oh, where am I?
Are you all right? Are you all right now?
Oh, I had a dream. I dreamed I was called to the hospital because Dann had been killed. And no, it wasn't. It isn't a dream. Dann is dying, and I'm here in the hospital. And Doctor.
You fainted, and I can understand why. It's been a terrible shock. Dr. Morris? Oh? Very well, I'll be right up there.
Doctor, that was about Dann, wasn't it?
Yes.
I can tell by the tone in your voice. It's not good.
I never told you it was good, Mrs. Greenway.
But now it's worse. He's getting worse. He's sinking quickly. It could be a matter of minutes.
Well,
Please tell me.
Yes. He could die at any time.
Sergeant Carter, take me home.
But don't you want to
Take me home. Take me home as quickly as you can. Take me home. I wish for Dann to live. I wish for Dann to live.
Mrs. Greenway? Oh, Mrs. Greenway.
Oh, yes.
I just had to make sure you were okay.
I'm all right.
You had me worried the way you were.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And about Dann, well, maybe the doctors don't know everything, you know? Maybe there will be something to...
Dann will be all right.
Just remember, if there's anything at all... Well, Mrs. Greenway, aren't you going to answer it?
Answer?
The phone. Okay, don't bother. I will. Hello.
Is that you, Sergeant?
Yeah.
Could you bring Mrs. Greenway back here right away?
We never saw or even heard of such a remarkable turnabout. You could almost say it's a miracle.
Well, why not say it? There was one thing for sure. Mrs. Greenway never gave up hope, never lost faith. Look at that man. He's got his color back.
Respiration, pressure, heartbeat, everything. Everything is perfectly normal. I still can't believe it.
Dann.
Ella, is it you?
It's Ella.
Where are you?
I'm here, Dann. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
Hi, honey.
Dann! Tell me, how was it?
Well, I'd been away for a while, you know. I was kind of nervous that first day back.
But how did it go?
Oh, it just went.
I was worried about your going back so soon.
Oh, it's been more than a month, honey. Besides, the doc wouldn't have held still for it unless I checked out 100%.
Dann, Did you tell the doctors about this?
The headaches? Well,
Did you?
Honey, everybody gets headaches, and these just come and go.
But yours can get very severe.
If they don't stop, I'll talk about it next time I see it. Listen, what would you like to do tonight? How about a movie?
Sure. Don, what's that on your blouse?
Where?
All over your sleeve. Was it blood?
Blood? What? How would blood get on my sleeve?
Well, it looks like blood.
I can't imagine. Maybe it's paint or some kind of stain or something. You know, I might have brushed up against something.
I better send it to the cleaners first thing. How could it have...
If you haven't started on dinner yet, let's eat out, huh?
All right.
Hey, you know what you forgot to do when I walked in just before?
What?
You forgot to give your old man a kiss.
Oh, Don.
Yeah, that's better. Well, you've got to shape up around here. Can't let you get into bad habits.
Don, you still have a headache?
Headache? No, it's gone. Completely gone. Maybe it'll never come back.
All right, we got some new little goodies for you boys in blue out there. Be alert for stolen Gold Arrow convertible. License plate 1232N, as in nobody. Brand new Toro sedan. Shell pink, yes indeedy. Plate number 5498.
21 calling in. 21 calling in.
Yes, 21.
Sarge, I think I should come in.
Something wrong, Don?
Oh, I think I'm starting to get a headache.
Where are you?
3100 block on North Sheridan.
Well, this is on your way. Just check it out. Woman, apartment 3A, 560 Cheyenne. That's 2 blocks west of you.
2 blocks.
Woman reports prowler in the vicinity. She must be a nut. She calls an average of 3 times a week, but take down her story. It makes her feel better. Then come in.
Okay. Oh, what am I going to do with this headache? Oh, let me see. 3A.
In here. Oh, come in. You took your sweet time getting here. I could have been murdered.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, now just tell me.
You ride around in your cars and you think you do a day's work.
Please, madam, just tell me.
I pay my rent. I pay my taxes.
Just tell me what... Oh, my head. Will you just tell me what you saw?
Don't you yell at me. You're a public servant. My servant. Oh! Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me? No! Don't, please! No, please! No!
My head. What a relief. I never want to have another one of... Wait a minute. What am I supposed to be doing? Yeah, I go to apartment 3A. 560 Cheyenne. Woman saw a prowler. I'm here. What the... Lady, are you... 21 calling in.
You heading in, Don?
No, you better be headed out. The prowler was there, all right. She's dead.
What is it, Doc?
Won't know till the autopsy. He hit her a few heavy blows, and that was enough to kill her.
She was lying there. I could see she was dead or close to it, so then I crawled in.
Then what did you do?
I had to look around the back.
Anything?
Nothing.
From what I can see here, she tried to put up a little bit of a fight anyhow. See?
Yeah.
Slight trace of blood under this fingernail. She might have scratched him.
Well, Don, write it up.
Okay.
And then you can go home.
Home?
Yeah, didn't you ask to come in because you had a headache?
Oh, yeah, but I don't have one now. I feel great. sweetie, I'm sorry I was so late for dinner.
I heard about the murder on the news.
Yeah, I know. Oh, she wasn't a pretty sight to see.
Why? Why was she killed?
We don't know.
Well, did you get a chance to see anything?
No, I got the call to go to the address because she'd complained about a prowler. The next thing I knew, I was in the apartment. She was dead on the floor.
Don, what do you mean? The next thing you knew?
Well, because that's the next thing that happened. You know, that's how you write your report. You go from one fact to the next. Listen, honey, let's not talk about it, please. I never wanted to be a guy who brings his job home.
Don, what did you do to your face?
Huh? Where?
Well, it looks like a scratch. Just below your right ear.
I don't know.
Well, how did you...
You sure there's a scratch there?
Well, it looks like one.
Well, I might have gotten it from shaving this morning.
But you don't shave there.
All right, look, it doesn't bother me.
But how did
And if we worry about every tiny little scratch... Honey, what are you looking so serious for? I can't even feel it. All right, if it makes you feel better, I'll put some antiseptic on it. Ella? Ella, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm just tired. I feel so worn out. Taxi! Taxi! Take me to the 500 block on Cheyenne. 554, 556, 558, 560. Outside entrance. Inside door, and it's locked. Locked.
Why, hello, Ella.
Sergeant Carter.
Oh, what are you doing in this neighborhood?
Oh, just shopping. There's some very fine shops.
Ella,
Yes, Sergeant.
tell me, since Don's been home from the hospital, has he... Well, have you noticed anything unusual about him?
Unusual? In what way?
Oh, I don't know. He has complained of headaches.
Headaches.
He may have come back to duty just a little bit too soon. Although I must say it hasn't interfered with his performance of duty. He's a great cop. Well, see you around.
Ella, hey, where have you been? I've been home for about 2 hours.
Oh, I was out.
It's okay. I made supper. Chili. What do you think? Pull up a chair and enjoy a treat. Huh?
Don, how do you feel?
Right now, I feel fantastic. I've never been in better shape in all my life.
I look at you and I don't know how to begin.
Begin what?
Don, the cleaner said you had blood on your sleeve. That was the other day. And the other day, there was a knifing. Some old tramp had been...
Wait a minute. What are you saying?
And yesterday, you went to the scene of another killing. You had a scratch, as if someone...
Ella, is this your idea of a joke?
Hear it all first. You went to this lady's apartment. Now, if she was already dead when you got there, how did you get in there? The door to the hallway is locked. You have to ring the bell. Donald, how did you get in there?
How? Did I get in there? What? How do you think I got in there? I rang the bell.
No.
Listen.
No.
What are you making it so complicated for? I rang the bell. She sounded the buzzer. She let me in.
She let you in?
Well, who else would have let me in? She lives all alone, doesn't she?
But Don! Oh, Don!
Look, I got this headache again.
Don, listen to me.
I have to lie down.
Something's terribly wrong.
When I get this headache, I can go crazy.
It really wasn't murder. You didn't know.
I knew. When I feel this way, I can kill.
Carter. Sergeant Carter. He was there again today for the same reason I was. He suspects.
Will you shut up?
You need help. Don, oh, darling, don't. Don't, please. Don't look at me that way. Don, don't look at me that way. No, it isn't even human. Then look, keep away. Don, it's me. Don't. I wish him dead. I wish him dead.
Ella? Oh, Ella, everything hurts so much. I just want to sleep. Never wake up. I just want to sleep.
Don. Oh, Don.
3 times dead. And you can have the story any way you like. The supernatural powers of the little golden statue, or the sudden rallies and collapses that still defy the best thinking of medical science. Random accident or predestined fate. We always have something for everybody. As usual, I'll have something for you when I return shortly. I wish I could tell you what happened to the little statue, but I can't. Ella Greenway's house was robbed a few years ago, and the little statue was part of the loot. It may have been stolen by someone who knew its powers. On the other hand, it may be kicking around some antique or gift shop. Remember, if you see it, it's a beautiful lady with a snake twined about her waist. And if you should see it, would you buy it? Our cast included William Redfield, Suzanne Grossman, Sam Gray, and Dan Ocko. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, new sugar-free diet 7-Up, and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. For nearly 100 years, the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde has been thought of as a tale of horror, which of course it is, but it is also an intriguing mystery. For example, take the matter of Dr. Jekyll's curious will and the scene that took place one foggy London afternoon in the office of Jekyll's attorney, Geoffrey Utterson.
No, Jekyll. I will not be a party to the making of such a will.
You are my solicitor, yes, and my friend. Now, if you will not do it as my lawyer, do it. I beg of you as my friend.
everything you possess to go to this Edward Hyde in the event of your death or even your disappearance?
Yes.
Well, then you must tell me. I demand that you tell me. Who is Edward Hyde? Well, Jekyll, who is he?
Utterson, I wish to heaven on you.
Our mystery drama, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, was especially adapted from the classic by Robert Louis Stevenson for the Mystery Theater by George Lowther and stars Kevin McCarthy. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour allergy capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Come with me now, back through the years to London, England, in 1896. It is late of a pleasant spring evening, and we find ourselves strolling in Cavendish Square, along with Geoffrey Utterson and his friend, Dr. Mortimer Lanyon.
I must say I've enjoyed our walk, Utterson. We'll soon be at my place. Will you come in?
Oh, thanks, Lanyon, but I think not. I've got a good deal of work to get through before I go to bed. I needed a break, though, a breath of air, which is why I came for this walk with you. And good heavens. That man coming toward us.
Oh, strange-looking fellow, isn't he? Oh, his face in the light of the street lamp.
That's the most evil face I've ever... Lanyon, he's coming straight at us. He's going to knock one of us down if we don't... You fool, you've knocked my friend down. You, hold on there. Hold on there, I say.
Let go.
No, not on your life.
Go.
You not only knocked my friend down, you walked straight over him.
Sorry. Let me go.
Who are you? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You walked on my friend as if he were part of the pavement.
I've said I'm sorry.
That's not enough. By no means enough.
Who is this man?
Lanyon, are you all right?
I'm not sure. You walked on me. Stomped right over me. Who the devil are you?
I warn you, the two of you. Let me go.
Oh, this...
Let me go, I say, or I'll kill you both.
Look out, he's swinging that heavy walking stick, and he...
Kill you both! You struck me. No one strikes Edward Hyde and lives.
No, he'll kill us both with that walking stick. Run, Utterson, run!
Come back! Come back and I'll kill you.
Stop! Stop! I can't go on. My heart.
Oh, mine too. It's pounding like a trip hammer.
Oh, good Lord, Utterson. I've never had such an experience of this kind in my life. Are you all right? You took a blow from that walking stick. Utterson, what is it?
The name. The name he used. Did you hear it?
Yes, but...
What was it? Oh, I think I know, but I want to be sure.
Hyde, he said. Edward Hyde.
That's what I thought.
Well, what of it? Well, the way you looked at... Do you know the man? Does the man mean something to you?
No. I don't know the man. But the name. Oh, yes, the name means something to me.
What? Well, what?
And I'm not sure I can tell you, Lanyon. I'm not sure I have the right as a lawyer to do so. On the other hand,
Yes?
Well, you are my oldest friend, and your daughter Beatrice is engaged to Dr. Jekyll, isn't she?
Yes, they're to be married in September.
Then perhaps I should tell you that... No, it would serve no purpose.
Why, Mr. Utterson?
Oh, good evening, Poole. I know it's late, but is Dr. Jekyll home?
Oh, to you, sir, at any hour, I'm sure. Come in, sir. The doctor is at work in his laboratory. If you'll wait here a moment, sir.
Thank you, Poole.
Excuse me, Dr. Jekyll.
What? Damn it. Fool, I told you I was not to be disturbed.
Well, I know, sir, but...
But what?
Mr. Utterson is calling, sir.
Utterson? At this hour? Well, all right. Show him in.
This way, Mr. Utterson, please.
Thank you. Well, Utterson, this is a late-hour visit.
Jekyll, I'll come straight to the point. Dr. Lanyon and I were out walking in Cavendish Square less than an hour ago when we noticed a strange man, a sort of, I don't know, dwarf-like creature with, I assure you, a face that, well, it was so vile, so evil, it brought the sweat out on my brow.
Well?
Well, this man, he walked straight into Lanyon, knocked him down, and then walked right over him. I ran after him, an argument ensued, and then, well, he threatened to kill both Lanyon and me with his walking stick. He went into a rage I can only describe as bestial, swinging the walking stick at us, and
what?
Well, I don't think he meant to give his name. In fact, he refused to give it when I asked for it. But in his rage, he forgot himself, and he used his name. Edward Hyde.
And? What of that?
6 months ago, you insisted that I destroy your old will and make out a new one, leaving everything to a certain Edward Hyde, right?
Oh, I see.
Now, I told you then, as I tell you now, I considered the terms of the will most curious, indeed decidedly strange.
And as I told you then, and I tell you now, I see nothing strange in wanting to leave my money to a certain beneficiary in the event of my death.
Or your disappearance. That's what I find strange. That's what worries me. Even more now in the light of what happened tonight. Jekyll, I ask you once again, who is Edward Hyde?
Do you mean the Edward Hyde I've bequeathed my estate to, or the Edward Hyde you ran into tonight?
They are one and the same.
There's certainly more than one Edward Hyde in all of London.
Oh, yes, I'm quite sure. But only one Edward Hyde who might have been carrying this.
My walking stick?
The walking stick I gave you several years ago on your birthday. I'd know it anywhere. Jekyll, are you in trouble?
Huh? What do you mean, trouble?
What with this Hyde, does he have something on you? Is he blackmailing you?
That's a ridiculous thought.
Then what is it? How can you, Dr. Henry Jekyll, one of the most honorable and respected physicians in London, have any association whatever with a terrible person like this Hyde? Why have you made over your estate to him, especially when you're to marry Beatrice Lanyon? And why that stipulation in the event of your disappearance? Jekyll, I beg you, tell me what it means.
I cannot. I cannot.
But as your friend,
You are the friend you say you are. Oh, and you are, Utterson. You are. And then do me the favor of never mentioning Edward Hyde again.
Well, if this is your last word on the subject, Jekyll.
It is.
Very well, then. Good night. Oh, Poole.
Yes, Mr. Utterson, sir.
I'd like to ask you something.
Oh, anything, sir?
Who is Edward Hyde?
Oh, God help me, sir. I wish I knew. We all of us in this house, everyone of Dr. Jekyll's servants, wish we knew.
All right, tell me about him, this Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll was away on a house call, I think. The front door bell rang, and I answered it, and there stood the... Oh, a frightful creature, Mr. Utterson, frightful.
I've met Mr. Hyde. I know.
He said he wanted to see Dr. Jekyll. I started to say that Dr. Jekyll was not at home, but he pushed right past me in the rudest way, sir, and went straight into Dr. Jekyll's laboratory.
Yes, I quite understand. Go on.
Well, later on, I was in the kitchen when the bell rang from the laboratory. I went into the laboratory, and
there, to my complete surprise, was Dr. Jekyll.
To your surprise?
Why, yes. You see, sir, he'd forgotten his keys, and I was so surprised that he'd somehow got back into the house.
Well, did you ask him how?
Oh, I did, sir, yes. But he ignored the question. Never mind that, he said. I want to give you certain instructions concerning Mr. Edward Hyde. He then said that Mr. Hyde was to be admitted any time he called.
I see. Tell me, Paul, what is Mr. Hyde's manner toward Dr. Jekyll? I mean, when they're together, how does Mr. Hyde act toward Dr. Jekyll? Or Dr. Jekyll toward this Mr. Hyde?
Well, they're never together, sir.
That's puzzling, very puzzling, to say the least.
Oh, Mr. Addison, sir, all of us here are convinced that our master is in dire trouble. If you could help the good doctor...
Yes, Paul. Yes, I certainly shall, if I can.
Henry! Well, I had no idea you'd come into the music room. How long have you been there?
Only a few moments. When you become Mrs. Henry Jekyll, I shall insist that you play for me every night after dinner.
It shall be my wifely pleasure and duty, kind sir. Henry,
I'm sorry, but... Oh, Beatrice, I want you so.
And I want you, but until we're married, Henry,
Must we wait until September? It's such a long time.
Oh, Father.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were here, Henry. How are you?
How are you, Dr. Lanyon? Utterson tells me you had a rather bad experience tonight.
Yes. But I'm quite recovered, thank you. Still a few bruises where that fearsome creature stomped on me, but otherwise all right. Something I've been meaning to ask you, Henry.
Yes?
But later. I don't want to interrupt you two lovebirds.
Oh, Father.
Well, I shall be in my study. Drop in before you go.
Of course.
Well, now, Henry. Where were we? Oh, yes, the wedding. No, now, look, dearest, we can't possibly change the date now.
What if I insist?
I don't think I understand.
I say, what if I insist?
But, Henry, you wouldn't. It would be so unlike you. It is so unlike you even to be talking this way. You've always gone along with my wishes.
I have wishes, too. And rights, Beatrice. I have rights.
Well, really, Henry, really. You have no rights, as you say, until we marry. It troubles me you should even say such a thing. In fact, Henry...
Yes? In fact, what?
Henry, I've been meaning to talk to you about this, and I keep putting it off because I feel a bit awkward, but... Well, to be honest with you, my darling, you're not the same man that I became engaged to.
No, that's a silly remark.
Well, the way you've acted the last few times we've been together, there's something different about you, Henry. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but you've changed somehow, in some subtle way. Changed. Why, even your face...
What about my face?
Well, Henry, you don't have to snarl.
What about it? My face.
You're hurting me, Henry. Please don't... Really?
Sorry.
Sorry isn't enough. More and more you keep manhandling me, and then you say you're sorry. What's come over you? What's changed you in the past few weeks?
What did you mean about my face?
Oh, darling. Oh, it's only that... I suppose you're working too hard or something of the sort, but there are lines in your face that I've never seen before. Lines of tiredness, I guess.
Yes, that would be it.
Shadows under your eyes. Well, even now they look darker, deeper. Oh, darling, I didn't notice before, but I do now. I think that you neglected to shave today.
I must go.
Go? You've only been here a few minutes.
Patient. Remember, patient promised to visit. I'll drop in again tomorrow.
Was that Henry who just left?
Yes, Father.
But he said he'd drop by the study to see me before he went.
Yes, I know he did, but
Oh, Beatrice, what's happened?
I don't know. For a moment, I'd have sworn that Henry was changing before my eyes.
A tale of horror, yes, but also, as I said, a mystery. At least it was to Mr. Utterson, Dr. Lanyon, and his lovely daughter, Beatrice. A mystery that was to turn to tragic horror before they learned the truth about Dr. Henry Jekyll. I shall return shortly with Act Two.
Now back to CBS Mystery Theater.
It almost goes without saying that to tamper with natural law will lead to an unnatural end. Mr. Utterson, Dr. Lanyon, Poole, and the servants in Dr. Jekyll's household had begun to suspect that Jekyll is hiding some awful secret from them. A secret that involves a man known as Edward Hyde. Even Beatrice Lanyon, Dr. Jekyll's fiancée, has begun to wonder at the change she senses in him. It may even be that the London police are beginning to wonder.
Come in.
Inspector Wolfe of Scotland Yard to see you, Dr. Jekyll.
Oh? Show him in, Poole.
Yes. This way, Inspector.
Oh, thank you. Dr. Jekyll?
Yes? Leave us, Poole. Inspector Wolfe of Scotland Yard, is it?
Yes.
Please take a chair, Inspector.
Thank you.
Well, now, Inspector, what can I do for you?
Hey, well, I'm not sure you can do anything at all, Doctor, but, are you aware that in the past 6 weeks there's been a rash of murders in London? Extremely brutal murders, Doctor. Each victim has been bludgeoned to death.
Why do you come to me?
Well, on more than one occasion, the murderer has been seen while committing these terrible attacks of violence. Not clearly seen, since the murderers have always been done at night and in dark streets, you know. But there have been glimpses of them, and putting them together, the Yard has come up with what you might call a composite picture of the man.
I still don't see. I just don't understand why you've come to me about this.
Well, you will in a moment, Doctor. The man, the murderer, appears to be a short, malformed, dwarfish creature who, even though his face has never been clearly seen, gives a strong impression of evil. Doctor, a particularly brutal murder took place last night in Montague Street. Dr. Danvers Carew was bludgeoned to death.
Carew? Member of Parliament?
Aye, the same. He was beaten to death with a walking stick. And the murderer was the dwarf-like creature that I've mentioned. The person who saw the murder take place followed the murderer afterwards, you see, keeping at a safe distance, you may be sure. And, well, that's why I'm here.
Why precisely?
The murderer was seen to enter this house.
You must be... Well, I was about to say you must be joking, but of course, you're serious.
You don't happen to be acquainted with a Mr. Hyde, do you? A Mr. Edward Hyde?
Well, yes, but he's not an occupant of this house.
He doesn't live here?
No.
Does he visit?
Well, on occasion, yes, but I haven't seen him now in, months, I should say.
Friend of yours, is he?
No. Patient. He suffers from a nervous disorder, comes to see me whenever he's in need of medication.
Well, thank you for your time. Good day.
Good day, Inspector. Damn.
Sorry to have kept you waiting, Poole.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Utterson.
What can I do for you?
Mr. Utterson, I'm worried, fearfully worried, about Dr. Jekyll.
Oh?
You remember, sir, we were talking a long time back, near 2 months, I should think, about Mr. Hyde. And you asked me if I'd ever seen Dr. Jekyll and him, Hyde, together.
Yes, there's something like that, yes. And you said you never had.
Well, they are together now, sir. Not that they mightn't have been together before, but I know for certain that they are now. There are fights. Yes, fights going on in that laboratory between the doctor and, that terrible man, Mr. Hyde.
Fist fight?
No, sir. Arguments. I hear Dr. Jekyll moan and groan and cry out, No, leave me be. Oh, Mr. Utterson, sir, I'm so afraid for Dr. Jekyll, so afraid.
Yes, well, you're saying that comes as no surprise, fool. The truth is, I've known he was in some kind of trouble since he changed his will months ago in favor of Edward Hyde.
In favor of Edward Hyde?
Oh, yes. He's left him everything in the event of his death. But most puzzling, in the event of his disappearance as well.
Oh, sir, I don't understand it.
Nor do I. And to be honest with you, I've given up trying to understand it.
Then I must do what must be done.
What do you mean?
For the first time in my life, Mr. Utterson, I shall disobey Dr. Jekyll's orders. For his sake, I shall see to it that Mr. Hyde never enters Dr. Jekyll's house again.
Let me in! You hear me, Paul? Let me in!
Never, Mr. Hyde! Never! Go away and stay away!
Damn you! You stole my keys, so it was you. It must have been you, and now you bar me from the house.
And you'll stay barred as long as I'm here.
Fool! I warn you.
All the way! You'll not enter this house!
Fool! Listen to me, Poole.
I'm listening.
I'm in trouble, Poole. I need Dr. Jekyll's help.
He's not at home.
Let me come in and wait for him, Poole. I am in desperate trouble.
Then stay in it and be damned to you.
Father, what is it? I've never seen you so upset.
Well, read this.
My dear Dr. Lanyon, as you value my friendship and my life, please go to this very night to my home. Father, this is a note from Henry. What?
Yes, then you needn't read any further. He begs me to go to his home, enter his laboratory, and procure certain chemicals and powders, giving very explicit directions as to where I should find them. When the message was delivered an hour or so ago, I've just returned from following Henry's instructions. As you see, the message directs that I am to give these materials to whoever calls for them.
But what does it all mean?
Well, you are Henry's fiancée. You are close to him, closer than anyone else. He's obviously in some sort of difficulty. And if you know what it is, I charge you for his sake as well as your own. Tell me what it is.
But if I knew, I'd tell you. But yes, he is in grave difficulty. But whatever it may be, he keeps to himself. And what would it have to do with chemicals and powders and elixirs? Oh, Father, I don't know.
No. Lamb is retired. I'll answer the door. You retire as well, my dear.
No, Father, I want to send...
Do as I say, my child. Go to your room. I have a feeling that I'd best tend to this alone. Go now.
Very well, Father.
How damnably long does it take you to answer the door? Let me in quickly. You took your own sweet time, man. Where are the materials you were told to get?
In my study.
Come. Let us get them. Come. Where are they?
Right there, on my desk.
Yes, you did well. All seems to be here. Believe me. You misunderstood. I didn't say shut the door. I said leave me.
I didn't misunderstand, Mr. Hyde.
You know me.
From the newspaper reports of your murders and the general description of you, all of London knows you now, I should think.
Leave me. Go out and close the door and don't return until I'm gone.
Not until you tell me what connection you have with my friend and my daughter's betrothed, Dr. Henry Jekyll.
I tell you, if you value your sanity, leave me.
I will know the answer to who you are and what connection you have with Jekyll
or you will not leave this room.
Fool, Hyde. You fool. The police are hot on my trail. I killed the man.
No, I'm not surprised.
I went to Jekyll's house, but his blithering servant refused to let me in. That's why I sent that message to you.
You? Well, this was signed by Dr. Jekyll.
You don't understand.
And I intend to understand, or you will not leave this room, this house. Back off, I say. Yes, as you see, I'm prepared for you. This gun is loaded, Mr. Hyde, and I shall use it if need be.
You leave me no choice. If the police find me here, well, they will not find me. The potion is quickly prepared.
The potion?
Once again, leave me.
No.
Then damn you, witness what you shall witness. You're as big a fool as Jekyll. You're given the chance to leave well enough alone, but no. You must know the answer. Well, you shall know it. Your friend Dr. Jekyll had a theory. A theory he talked about so endlessly, so compulsively, that he bored everyone within the sound of his voice. You know the theory, do you not?
Yes, I was one of the bored listeners. Yes, I know. But each of us contains within himself not one spirit, but two. A good spirit, an evil spirit.
What else? There was more.
Jekyll also believed that a way might be found, yes, via a potion that would release that other spirit, the evil side of us, the side we all try to keep under control.
Exactly, and you all laugh. The mercury. Where's the mercury? You didn't bring... Oh, you did, yes. There, here it is. Thank God. Yes, you all laughed. You said it couldn't be done. And even if it could be done, you all said it would be madness to try it. You were right in one respect. It was indeed madness.
You, if I follow you, you are saying that Jekyll carried out the experiment?
He did.
And it was successful?
Successful? For me, yes, for me. For him, tragic. For you see, Dr. Lanyon, I am in control now, whereas before Dr. Jekyll controlled me, I now control Dr. Jekyll.
What in God's name are you saying?
You shall see. Yes, in a moment. You shall see. There, potion is ready. Before I drink it, I offer you one more chance to leave.
No.
Well, in that case, Lanyon, God help you.
You drank that.
Why do you think I mixed it?
But it contained mercury, quicksilver, and other... Mr. Hyde, what... My God, what's happening? You're changing before my eyes. You're getting taller. The hair on your head changing color. Good Lord. What are you going through? You're becoming a different man. A different being. Heaven help you. You've become, before my eyes, you've become Henry Jekyll.
Yes. Yes. And just in time. The police are at your door, Dr. Lanyon. Let them in. I have nothing to fear. For the moment. And so, before the shocked eyes of Dr. Lanyon, Dr. Jekyll's secret is revealed. Edward Hyde and Dr. Jekyll are one and the same man. Questions arise. What did Hyde mean by saying he is now in control of Jekyll? What did Jekyll mean when he said he has nothing to fear for the moment? We shall see when I return shortly with Act 3. The Scotland Yard police, in pursuit of the murderous Mr. Hyde, arrive at Dr. Lanyon's house in Cavendish Square, just as Hyde is transformed into the noted and respected physician, Dr. Jekyll. Now, as the police urgently ring the bell of the front door... Dr. Lanyon, you must answer the door.
I can't get up from this chair, Jekyll. My heart,
feel weak, faint.
Then I suppose I must let them in. Beatrice, how long have you been outside this door?
Long enough, Henry.
You know.
Oh, heaven help you, Henry. Yes, I know.
That's the police at the door. You'll not give me away.
Dr. Jekyll.
Inspector Wolf, isn't it?
Yes, but what... one moment. Sergeant, place your men so every entrance and exit is guarded. Now, if I may come in, Dr. Jekyll?
Certainly. My dear, this is Inspector Wolf of Scotland Yard. My fiancée, Miss Beatrice Lanyon, Inspector.
How do you do? Oh, no, 1,000 apologies, ma'am, but we're looking for a murderer. A certain Edward Hyde.
And what makes you think you'll find him here?
A description of him was given to every hansom cab driver in London. One of them saw him enter this house little more than half an hour ago and notified the yard.
Well, you've obviously made a mistake. This is the home of Dr. Lanyon. I am his daughter. We are not acquainted with anyone named Hyde.
I beg your pardon, Dr. Jekyll. You said something?
No.
Miss Lanyon, I should like your permission to search the premises.
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible,
Oh, I don't think
Inspector.
you quite understand. If our information is correct, Edward Hyde is in this house, and he's a dangerous man, Miss Lanyon. A murderer.
I'm sorry. No. Good night, Inspector. Inspector, I said good night.
Is your father at home?
Yes.
Then I must ask to see him. If you'll not give us permission to search the house, perhaps he will.
I'm sorry, Inspector, but my
I
father...
insist, madam.
Inspector, there is no Edward Hyde in this house any more than there was an Edward Hyde in mine when you called there.
Very well. I won't pursue this matter further tonight, Miss Lanyon. But, Dr. Jekyll, I think we should have another talk, you and I, about your Mr. Hyde.
He's not my Mr. Hyde, Inspector. He's a patient I haven't seen in a long time. Should he pay me another professional visit, I shall certainly notify you. And now, sir, good night.
Good night.
Henry. Oh, Henry, what terrible thing have you done?
My darling. Oh, my dearest, I'm trapped by my own folly. Your father warned me a long time ago to give up my experiments, if only I had heeded his advice.
Well, heed it now.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's too late.
Why too late?
I've lost control over Hyde. He controls me. Over these past months, he's grown stronger and I weaker. I never know how or when the transformation, horrible transformation, will take place. Heaven help me, Beatrice. I have become Hyde's slave.
It's not too late. We can't let it be. Father could help you, Henry. I'm sure he can. Come. We'll ask his advice. He'll know what to do.
Perhaps you're right. Yes. Let's see what he has to say.
Father, the police have gone and Henry's in fearful trouble, as you know, and he wants to... Father?
Dr. Lanyon.
Father, what is it? Why do you just sit there staring? Oh, my God. Oh, Henry.
Yes. He's dead. What he saw tonight was too much for his weak heart. Edward Hyde murdered him. Heaven forgive me. I murdered him.
All right, Beatrice. Jekyll. We can leave now, I think.
No, I would like to stay a little longer, Mr. Utterson.
No, child. They'll start to fill in the grave shortly. There's no need to put yourself through that. Come along now, I insist.
Oh, very well.
Beatrice, if you would care to dismiss your carriage and let me take you home in mine.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Utterson, but I'd like to be alone. You understand.
Yes, of
I'll
course.
go with Beatrice.
Oh, no, thank you, Henry. No, I really do wish to be by myself for a time.
I see. I'll call on you then tomorrow. If I am able.
No. I shall be busy tomorrow. There's so much to do winding up Father's affairs.
Perhaps if
I'll get in touch with you, Henry. Good day. Good day, Mr. Utterson.
Good day, Beatrice. Jekyll, join me in my carriage. I want to talk to you. My own carriage is waiting. Send it along. I must talk with you. As you wish. You may go along, Johnson. I'm riding with Mr. Utterson. After you, Jekyll. Well, what is it? I want to talk to you about your will. Oh, what now, Utterson? What need you ask? You read the newspapers. You know this man, Edward Hyde, is a monster, a murderer sought by the police. God knows what your connection with him may be, what hold he has on you, and you needn't say he hasn't. He must have. Why else would a man of your reputation, a celebrated and respected physician, leave all his worldly possessions to such a human horror? They're my possessions. I have the right to do with them as I wish. And I, the right as your solicitor, to refuse to let you do. You can't stop me. Well, perhaps I can. How? In what way? Not sure. I'll have to seek advice on this. It may very well be, Jekyll, on grounds of protecting you from yourself, that I can have you declared incompetent to handle your affairs. Incompetent? I incompetent? How dare you say such a thing to me? How dare you even think such a thing? Jekyll, let go, my arm. You're hurting me. My will is my will. Edward Hyde is to inherit everything in the event of my death or my disappearance. What is the matter with you? Take your hand off. Good Lord, your hand. Jekyll, your hand. It's covered with long hair. The fingernails are becoming... Hey, you meddling little pipsqueak. It's changing. Of course it's changing, you interfering muddlehead. Do me out of my inheritance, would you? Prevent me from inheriting Jekyll's wealth? You? Oh, my God! You're Hyde! You are Edward Hyde! Yes, Edward Hyde. Edward Hyde. Murderer. Edward Hyde. Monster, according to you? Yes, but how could you? No, you're strangling me! Die!
Henry! It's Beatrice. Let me in. Henry? Oh, do you hear me? Open this door. Henry, I've come to help you. Let me in.
Beatrice.
Henry.
It's the end. Where? It's the end, Beatrice. The end. The potion doesn't work anymore. It's useless. Hyde takes over whenever he pleases.
Oh, dear Lord. There must be something we could... What is this gun?
I meant to take my life in this horror once and for all. But he won't let me. I have only to pick up the gun and he returns. I no longer have any will of my own. He possesses me, owns me, like a demon.
What is it?
Oh, get out of here, Beatrice. Leave me at once.
You're changing. You're becoming Hyde. Let go of me.
Let go of you? When I've wanted you, yearned for you, lusted for you, my lovely creature, all these months, huh?
Don't kiss me.
Oh, yes. Kiss you and fondle you and caress you and... You're stronger than I thought. My beautiful Beatrice. Good. Very good. That makes the sport worthwhile. Come to me. From you. Stay away from you who were made for love. Would you deny a man the pleasure? Say, you're very, very quick. Strong, too. Strong and quick. And desirable. Stop trying to elude me. You can't. You know, you can't. You are strong, but I am stronger. You are quick, but I am quicker. And you are a beauty. And I a beast, eh? Beauty and the Beast, eh? Beauty and the Beast. Put that down.
No. You could stop Henry Jekyll from using this gun, but you can't stop me. Get away from that door. Let me out of here.
Oh, no.
Stay back or I'll shoot.
Go ahead, shoot. I didn't think you could. It isn't in you to kill even such a thing as me.
No. Oh, dear God, help me.
Just give me the gun right here, and then once you're in my arms... No, don't struggle. It'll do you no good. Give me the gun. Give me...
Miss Lanyon! Oh, good heavens! Miss Lanyon! Miss Lanyon!
The gun went off and killed Mr. Hyde.
Hyde? But on the floor, that's Dr. Jekyll.
What?
See for yourself.
Oh, yes. I see.
But if the gun killed Mr. Hyde, how?
Don't ask any questions now, Poole. Not now. Just go and fetch the police.
As a baffled and distraught Poole rushes out into the storm to find a policeman, Beatrice Lanyon gazes down at the body of Dr. Henry Jekyll. Or is it Edward Hyde? I'll be back shortly. You may like to know that the adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde I've just brought you comes closer to Stevenson's original than any other I know. I think you'll agree it was as much a mystery as a tale of horror. Our cast included Kevin McCarthy, Marian Seldes, Ian Martin, and Kurt Benson. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division, the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, and new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to another hour with the great forces of the unknown. Those majestic forces that move around above and beneath us, pushing and pulling at our lives, our bodies, our brains. Forces no less powerful because we know them not. And here's a thought. How much of their power actually derives from their mystery? Were we to fathom them, explode their secrets, would they then become as comprehensible as, say, the centrifugal force in the spin dryer at the laundromat? Well, the day is far off when we can be that knowledgeable. So, in the meantime, listen.
How will you do it?
A gun?
Do you have a gun?
No.
Well, then that's no good.
A knife?
Could you get near him? Near enough to use a knife? Do you have the strength?
No.
Well, so that's no good.
But he has to die so that I can live.
He will die. He will die tomorrow morning.
How do you know?
He will die of the mass of Saint-Césaire.
Our mystery drama, The Secret Doctrine, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Elspeth Eric and stars Mercedes McCambridge. It is sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal and new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Be careful, they say, what you ask for, lest it be given to you. Who of us knows what to ask for? Who can see far enough into the future to know what gift will delight and which destroy? Better simply to accept whatever comes, with gratitude, whenever possible. Listen with me now to the somber story called The Secret Doctrine.
You can begin now, Louise.
Now, Father Giles?
The others have gone. You said your confession would take some time, so let's begin.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
But go on, Louise, and speak up. Don't mumble.
In thought, word, and deed. Oh, Father, I can't find the words to tell you.
Remember, I sit in the confessional box not only as your priest, but as God's own surrogate.
Father, you know Peter Sorrell.
Sorrell?
Yes. The American movie star.
Oh, I don't know any American movie stars. You mean the actor who came here to make a film about the Saint Vincent de Paul? Yes. It caused quite a stir in the village. And then something happened. What was it?
Father, Peter Sorrell died.
Oh, did he die? I hadn't heard.
This morning.
Oh, God, take his soul. What was his illness?
He was not ill, Father. He simply died. He slipped away.
But he was not an old man. What did the doctor say?
Just what I told you. That he was not ill. That he simply grew weaker and weaker until death took him. I know what he died of, Father Giles.
You know?
He died of the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
Do you know what you're saying? The Mass of Saint-Césaire has not been said in Gascony for hundreds of years. Most priests have never heard it. Oh, no good priest would even say it. I think you'd best tell me all about it, Louise.
Yes, Father. I was in love with Peter Sorrell.
In love? Well, you never knew him. He only came here a month ago.
I've seen all his films, each one many times. When one of them came to Dax, I'd walk the 20 miles to see it. And if it was there for 2 days, I'd roam the streets all night to see it again and again, as many times as it was shown.
You call this being in love? How old are you, Louise?
I'm 38, Father.
Have you ever loved a boy, a man?
No, Father. I've been in love with Peter Sorrell since I was 18. I've written to him in Hollywood every week for 20 years. And once he answered me. And he sent me his picture. And when I heard that he was coming here, I saw the hand of God.
Take care you don't blaspheme, Louise.
That is how it seemed to me, Father Giles.
Go on.
The company he worked for had rented the big house on the hill for him. And the first day he was here, I took him some of my onion soup.
Well. What have we here?
I brought you some onion soup, Mr. Sorrel. If you'd care to accept it.
I'd care like crazy.
I've seen all your films, Mr. Sorrel. I love them all.
You've got a big heart.
And the next day I took him a bottle of wine. It's called sand wine, Mr. Sorrel. A local product.
Like you. You're a local product.
It's very good. Really, it is.
So are you. What's your name?
And the next day, I took him a bottle of brandy. It's Armagnac, Mr. Sorrel. It's the best brandy in France.
I'll just bet it is.
There's a dish I know how to make with this brandy. Roast capon.
And you're going to make it for me, aren't you, Louise? That is your name, isn't it? Louise?
The next day I went to his house. But this time he wasn't alone. There was a man with him. A young American gentleman.
I shouldn't have let you talk me into this picture, Gabe.
Me talk you into it?
Who cares about saints anymore?
Well, there's got to be a reaction from all that demon stuff eventually.
Pardon me, Mr. Sorrel. The capon is...
Louise, meet my agent, Gabe Hauser.
How are you, Louise?
Mr. Hauser, I'll keep the capon warm until you're ready.
Please.
Yes, when you're ready, call me.
Who is that?
A fan. One of my millions of fans.
What's for dinner tonight, Louise?
Gascony pork and cabbage in a special sauce.
Why can't we eat like that on the set, huh, Peter?
Because Louise isn't on the set.
Oh, if only I could be.
Hey, we could fix her up with a walk-on or something, couldn't we?
You could.
Hey, she could be one of the Sisters of Charity. Why not?
Louise, the star has spoken.
So then, Father, I could be with him during the day and not just in the evenings. I was in heaven.
You have strange concepts of theological matters, Louise. But go on.
Oh, the atmosphere of that place, all the fuss and the laughter and the excitement, it all went to my head. And I forgot that I only wanted to serve him. I wanted to love him, to belong to him, and to have him belong to me.
You poor woman.
I watched him every moment. My eyes were fastened on his face. My ears strained to catch every word that fell from his lips.
There is nothing so grand as a good priest. It hurts me to see God's work in unloving hands. Cut! That's a print. Okay, let's break.
I didn't think anyone noticed how I stared at him, followed him about, waited for him after the day's work. But one day as I watched him...
And the city hospital. 2 to a bed. Some lying on the floor.
You're crying, Louise.
Poor.
He's doing the scene with the cardinal.
Oh, it's not a sad scene. It's not even a good scene.
Oh, it's a very good scene.
Terror.
It's a wonderful scene. Everything he does is wonderful. It was Noemi, Father. Do you know her? The woman who came here from the Basque country last year. She got herself a job, an extra like me. And so I saw a lot of her after that.
My father. I degraded my father. I scourged my father.
Why, you want him for your very own.
Not the way you mean, Noemi.
Oh, yes.
Him.
Precisely the way I mean. What other way is there?
Oh, my Savior. I need to confess. Cut. Bring it. Break for lunch.
Noemi was always there, Father. I couldn't send her away. Well, she belonged there as much as I did, after all.
Why in the world should I lie down when those poor people are calling for me?
Why, you want him, Louise. It shows on your face.
See them lying.
It's hopeless.
Tell me, can you get your hands on some locks of his hair, cuttings from his fingernails, his toenails?
Why? Why should I?
Why, they will give you power over him.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Oh, believe it's true. His hair, his fingernails, his toenails. If you want him, get them and bring them to me.
Need me? Cut! Break that. Concessions on the set, please.
I didn't believe her, Father, not really. But my desire had become so great, I thought I should go mad. I had no trouble finding bits of his hair. I picked up all I needed from the floor of the makeup room. But the cuttings from his fingernails and his toenails, that was more difficult. Then one evening at his house...
DePaul was the first social worker in history. You know that, Gabe? I mean, he organized social services.
Would you like some more Armagnac, Mr. Sorrel?
Oh, you still here, Louise? You can go home whenever you feel like it. You don't have to stick around.
I've been listening and watching.
A great dinner, Louise.
I noticed you bite your nails, Mr. Sorrel, when you talk.
Oh, yeah. A childhood habit.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what my mother always said.
If you'd let me cut your nails properly...
My mother always said that, too.
I have a scissors right here with me.
My mother also always had the scissors right there with her.
So while they talked, I cut his fingernails. And I saved them all, even the little bits of cuticle, in my kerchief. And when I had finished...
Louise, you're a saint.
Oh... If I'm a saint, Mr. Sorrel, I should wash your feet.
Wash my feet?
Say now...
They get awfully dirty walking around the set in those old sandals. And all the saints, even the Pope, he washes the feet of a sinner once a year to show humility.
I'm your sinner, is that it?
Let her, Peter, if she wants to.
Well, you really want to?
And to cut your toenails.
Well, what can I say? It's the best offer I've had since I came to France.
And so I did, Father. And when I left that night, I had all the cuttings in my kerchief, and I took them to Noemi, who waited for me in the woods.
Take this, Louise.
What is that?
It's a little bag made from the skin of a toad, which my own daughter impaled at midnight in the graveyard of the old abbey. Oh, we put all your precious cuttings into it. Now, pull the drawstrings tight. That's it, and hang it around your neck, under your dress. Yes, just like that.
How do you know that it will work?
I know.
It seems so wrong. It's going against God, isn't it?
Have you ever heard of Eliphaz Levi and the secret doctrine?
No.
Well, Eliphaz Levi was his pen name. He wrote many books on the subject of magic. Magic exists. Always has existed all over the world.
But I'm afraid of it, Noemi.
Oh, give in to your fear, and you lose the thing you most desire. Conquer your fear, and the secret doctrine will bring you Peter Sorrel.
How do I know?
Magic is everywhere, unseen, unheard, but it is working all the time. You need only the spiritual energy to make it work for you.
But do I have energy like that? I don't think I do.
Oh, never mind. I do. Now, kneel down. No, do not bow your head. Raise your face to the sky. Send up a prayer from your loins to Aether, God of chaos and the dark.
Well, the secret doctrine has been kept from me, I must say. All my life I have struggled from problem to problem, quandary to quandary, with only my limited intelligence to assist me. And all the time, was there a secret doctrine that might have solved things magically? If so, I'm a little late finding it out. We'll be back shortly for Act 2.
The Canton Civil Defense in Illinois reports they are watching a tornado to the southwest of the city of Canton. They say it's headed southward in the general direction of Lewistown in Fulton County, Illinois.
The only magic I have ever known was long, long ago, when I expelled a loud and angry scream, and food instantly appeared. Talk about rubbing a lamp. Talk about wearing a bag of discarded nails and hair about your neck. Well, we shall see if they can match my infant cry.
Some sort of magic was working, Father Giles, because when I got to my feet, after that strange prayer to the god of chaos, there in the woods with the toadskin bag still hanging round my neck, I felt that I was a beautiful woman. Can you imagine that, Father?
Yes.
The next day was my last, so far as the film was concerned. I hated to step out of the Sister of Charity habit and get back into my own clothes, but my spirits rose to the sky when Peter stopped me and said...
This was your last day, wasn't it, Louise?
Yes, my last day.
Well, it won't be the same around here without you. We'll miss you.
Will you? Will you miss me?
I'll miss you the most. But I'll see you at the house, won't I? You're not going to desert me now, are you?
Never. I'd never do that.
Well, you'd better not, Louise.
I met Noemi late that night in the woods, and I told her what Peter had said and what I had said.
You see? The magic is beginning to take hold.
I couldn't go to the set the next day. What reason would I have? So I spent the day in his house cooking a shoulder of lamb for him in the Gascon style. You know how long that takes, Father.
Louise!
In the kitchen.
That smells so good.
It's something special I'm cooking for you.
Louise, what have I done to deserve you? You're the greatest thing that's happened to me since... Well, you're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Let's put it that way.
I told Noemi that night that time was growing short, that in 2 days Peter surely would be leaving France. And I told her I must go with him.
Now, listen, Louise. This is what you must do. When he comes home, you must be waiting for him on his bed, all naked and perfumed, and he will love you.
I had loved him, Father, for so many years, and now every dream, every desire would come true. I was lying on his bed, as Noemi had told me I should be, with my hair all freshly washed and perfumed, as my body was. And I heard the front door close. And I heard his feet on the stairs.
Louise?
I couldn't answer. I waited for the bedroom door to open, and it did.
Who's... What a... Louise, is that you? What in the name of heaven...
I've been waiting for you.
Are you crazy?
Peter, listen to me. I want you to love me. You do love me. I've seen the love growing in your eyes. I've heard it in your voice. Take me now and tell me that you love me, and that we will go to America together, to your home, where I will love you and look after you.
Louise, now listen to me.
See, look, over there, I brought all my clothes. I feel that I'm reaching the end of a long, long journey. I've loved you so long.
Louise, let me talk to you.
Oh, yes. Talk to me.
Louise, if I've made you think that I'm anything more than just very fond of you, I'm sorry. Louise, I'm very, very sorry. If I've made you think I love you, well, I'm sorry. What more can I say?
But you do love me. You've loved me for 3 whole days.
3 days?
And I've loved you for years and years. But you've only loved me for 3 days, so of course it seems new to you. I understand.
Now, Louise, what 3 days are you talking about?
The last 3 days, of course. Ever since I started wearing this.
What's that?
It's a bag made from the skin of a toad. A toad impaled at midnight in the graveyard of the Abbey.
What's in that bag, Louise?
Why, part of you. Bits of your hair, bits of your fingernails, your toenails, little particles of you.
What kind of a game are you running on me, Louise?
It's no game. It's real.
Real hell. All the time you were hanging around here. You were cooking and cleaning and washing and all that. You were hanging around the set, waiting on me, telling me I'm such a great actor, begging to cut my fingernails, my toenails. You were conning me. You were running some kind of a tricky, sneaky game on me.
It was no game.
Now, look, lady, you get your clothes on fast. You hear me? You get out of here. You want some money?
No.
I'll give you money. You've earned it. But if you ever try to play any of these crazy tricks on me again, I'm going to track you down. I'm going to have you put away. Now, you get out of here.
I did get out, Father Giles, but I can't remember how. The next thing I remember is running through the woods, calling for Noemi. And then I remember falling down on the ground and the blackness coming down over me.
My poor Louise.
Noemi found me a little later. I don't know how much later.
What happened, Louise?
Nothing happened, Noemi. He doesn't love me. He never did. I think you'd better take back the little toadskin bag, Noemi.
Oh.
It didn't work.
But did you do everything I told you?
Yes, I did. I washed my hair and perfumed my body, and I lay on his bed. But when he came home, he didn't want me. I tried to tell him about the secret doctrine, but he didn't want to listen.
You told him?
I tried to. After all, I don't know much about it, only what you've told me, and I didn't understand all of that. But he didn't want to hear about it.
Oh, the man's a monster!
Yes, he is a monster.
You poor woman.
No, don't you feel sorry for me either, Father Giles. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me.
But don't you see? You let your desires take hold of you, Louise. You let them dictate your actions. You lost control.
Oh, yes, I did that.
You became blind to the realities of the matter.
Yes, I did that, too. I fell in love with a man when he was only a walking shadow on a screen. I hurt no one. I would never have hurt him if he hadn't come to France to make another of his foolish motion pictures.
Louise, would it make you feel better, my child, if I were to tell you that you are not the first to give your heart to an unknown man who's only making his living by performing in public?
I suppose that is true, Father.
Does it make you feel a little better?
But I don't feel badly, Father.
You don't?
Not about him. Not about trying to give myself to him in his telling me he didn't want me. I felt badly about it at the time. Very badly, I suppose.
Of course you did.
But by the time Noemi found me in the woods, I felt quite differently.
Just how did you feel?
Very calm, very clear, very right.
Right? About what? Clear about what?
About what I must do.
And what was that?
I kill him, of course.
But you have said that it was all your own doing. That no one else should be blamed.
Quite so. But I had to kill him in me. Don't you see what I mean?
I'm not sure that I do.
Father, he was part of me. He'd been part of me for many, many years. There was more of him in me than there was of myself. Oh, you must understand.
I'm trying, Louise.
I knew how wrong I'd been to love him. Yes, to lust after him. To have obscene thoughts about him there in the dark of the theater, I knew these were sins. They were bad sins. And now I was willing to take upon myself the last sin of all. To kill him. Don't you understand that?
I don't believe I do.
How strange. Noemi understood.
You say Noemi understood? What you have just told me?
Yes, Father. There, that night in the forest, I told her how I must commit this most grievous sin.
How will you do it?
A gun?
Do you have a gun?
No.
Well, then that's no good.
A knife?
Could you get near enough to him to use a knife? Are you strong enough?
No.
Well, then that's no good.
But he must die, so that I may live.
He will die. He will die tomorrow morning.
How do you know?
He will die of the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And all the scorned women from the beginning of time must have at least looked around to see if there was a gun or a knife nearby. Sometimes there was, and the story had an unhappy ending, and a messy one. But what if those poor scorned women had known of the Mass of Saint-Césaire, a black and malevolent ritual of which you will learn more shortly when I bring you Act 3.
This is WBBM Chicago.
We promised you further details of the Mass of Saint-Césaire, that horrid leftover from the Dark Ages, and so we shall. We always keep our word. Let us pick up our story where we left off, with Louise and Noemi talking in hushed tones beneath the moon in the dark woods of Gascony.
He has to die, so that I can live.
He will die tomorrow morning. He will die of the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
How can anyone die of a mass?
Oh, the Mass of Saint-Césaire is the Mass of revenge. The peasants of Gascony have known this for centuries.
I must ask Father Giles.
Oh, no, you will not breathe a word of this to Father Giles.
But if he would perform the Mass...
He wouldn't dream of it. He probably doesn't even know it. Ah, but I know a priest who knows it, and who will perform it. My daughter lives with him. Come, Louise.
We went to the deserted abbey where the priest lived. No one told me his name. I never asked.
You are the one who orders this Mass.
Yes?
For whom shall I say the Mass?
For Peter Sorel.
Who will be my clerk?
Oh, my daughter will be your clerk, Father.
Who will bring the water for the Mass?
I shall bring it, Father.
Do you know a place where the Mass can be held?
Ah, by the ruins of the church, where the gypsies live, Father.
I listened as though nothing they said had anything to do with me, Father Giles. I scarcely knew when they'd finished speaking. I only knew that after a while, Noemi took me by the hand and led me away.
Come, Louise, come. We must get the water for the Mass.
Shouldn't there be wine, Noemi?
For the Mass of Saint-Césaire, there is no wine. There is only water. And the priest does not consecrate it. He drinks it. And it must be water from a well into which the body of an unbaptized infant has been thrown. Come now, Louise, come.
Before 11 o'clock, we were at the ruined church, a dreadful place, Father, where bats lived, and toads, and owls. And through the darkness came the priest, Noemi's daughter by his side, and he stood by the ruins of the old altar.
Ever and never to reign and live you. Men also won you. Redemption the share may be.
Noemi, what does he say?
It is the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
But I don't understand it.
It is the Mass for the dead. He is reciting it backwards.
I watched in horrid fascination, Father. I confess that I was fascinated by it. I was like a bird watching a snake. What is he doing now, Noemi?
He is making the sign of the cross.
No, he's not. He's not making.
He is making the sign of the cross with his left foot.
His what?
In the dirt. This is the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
I couldn't bear to look, Father Giles. I couldn't. And yet I couldn't bear not to look. The awful Mass had started at 11, and now it was drawing to a close as the hour of midnight struck. And then the Mass was suddenly over, and the priest and his clerk, Noemi's daughter, stole away into the darkness without a word to us.
It is over, Louise, and Peter Sorel has begun to die.
I'm not sure I believed her, Father Giles. I wasn't capable of belief or disbelief or of any thought at all or of any feeling whatsoever. I only felt tired. So tired I doubted I could move. But I pulled myself to my feet and I said, I must go to him, Noemi. I must go to Peter Sorel. And I went, Father. I went into town to the house on the hill, and I waited there till the sun had been up for an hour. And then I went to the door and knocked.
Oh, Louise. I suppose you want to see Peter.
Is he here?
Yes, he's here. But he's very ill. The doctor's with him. And no one knows what's the matter with him.
But I knew, Father Giles. He was dying of the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
Oh, Louise.
I went to the door every hour, Father. Once, I was told that they'd sent for his doctor from the States. But if that doctor arrived, he came too late. For at 10 o'clock, when I knocked at the door...
Louise. He's dead, Louise. He died a few minutes ago. No one knows why or how or what it was he died of.
I see.
I know you were very fond of him.
I was. Very fond. Very fond. I went home. I took off my clothes, and I lay down on my bed. The little toadskin bag was still around my neck. I took it off. I kissed it. I put it under the pillow, and then I put my head on the pillow and went fast asleep. I slept soundly, with no dreams at all of any kind. And when I awoke, it was noon. Such a beautiful day. And I started to come here to make my confession. On the way, I met Peter Sorel's friend once more.
He died, Louise, of nothing at all.
Nothing at all?
He was perfectly well. Talking of going home in the morning. Then, about midnight, he said he was tired. He thought he'd go to bed. But he could hardly climb the stairs to his room. I had to help him. He lay on the bed and closed his eyes. He said he felt as though he was slipping away. Wasn't that a strange thing for him to say? That he was slipping away?
I murmured something, said it was strange indeed, though of course I knew it wasn't. He died of the Mass of Saint-Césaire, Father. And now I've told you everything.
And what do you expect me to do, Louise?
To give me my penance, Father. I know it will be severe. I expect that. I want it to be severe. I know what a grave sin I have committed.
Do you, Louise?
To wish for a man's death, Father, to bring it about. What greater sin could there be?
To wish for a man's death. It is a sin in thought, but it can be forgiven. And you are not the first to have committed it. Your wish did not kill him. Men do not die so easily.
It was the Mass of Saint-Césaire that killed him.
God knows, and he alone. But you conspired in the performance of a gruesome mass, a relic from the Dark Ages. You took part in it. And what is most awful, you ordered it. And for this desecration of a holy ritual, there is no penance that would suffice.
But without a penance, how can I obtain absolution? How can I obtain pardon?
I cannot pardon you, Louise. I do not know a curate who can, nor a bishop, nor an archbishop.
Father, what am I to do?
My child, it is possible. I promise you nothing you understand. But it is possible. Were you to go to Rome, if the Pope were to see fit...
To Rome? To the Holy Father?
Only he has the right to grant pardon for the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
Sir, can you tell me, sir? May I ask you?
Yes, Signora. Can I help you?
Please. Is this the Vatican?
This is Vatican City, yes.
Is this the square of St. Peter?
Yes. Straight ahead is St. Peter's Gate.
Oh, I am here.
You've never been here before?
Oh, I have come to see the Pope.
His Holiness is quite busy, Signora.
I come here to make my confession.
Let me take you to a priest.
No. It must be His Holiness. No one else.
Are your sins so great?
My sin is so great. Yes.
Well, I'm only a student here, Signora, but I'll be glad to take you to a priest.
No priest can help me. No bishop. No archbishop.
But a priest might be able to arrange things so that you could see His Holiness, and not right away, of course. It would take time.
I have time. It has already taken me a long time just to come this far.
How long has it taken you?
1,000 days.
Where did you come from?
France. A little town in Gascony.
But that could take you almost 3 years? Oh, you must have stopped off at different places.
Each night to sleep and pray.
You mean you walked all the way? An old woman like you?
Do I look like an old woman? I have just turned 40.
Oh, forgive me, but you look much older than that.
It doesn't really matter now.
Come. Let me help you to your feet.
No. I shall stay on my knees until I see the Pope. I shall end my journey as I began it.
Are you telling me that you have come 1,000 miles on your knees? But why?
It is my penance. for the Mass of Saint-Césaire.
1,000 miles, 1,000 days, on her knees. What awful retribution we expect of ourselves. What endurance we can find within us to carry out our goal. And what is the priceless goal we seek? The goal that so obstinately eludes us after thousands upon thousands of miles and as many days. Why, I think it is nothing more and nothing less than peace of mind. I'll be back shortly. I told you it would be a somber story, did I not? And so it was. Well, exploring the unknown is not all fun and frolic. But the unknown must be explored in the wild hope that one day it will become known. I wonder, though, when it is as familiar to us as, say, the combustion engine, will it stop being fascinating and become boring? What then will we do for fun? What will happen to this program? Merciful heavens, what will I do for a job? Our cast included Mercedes McCambridge, Mildred Clinton, Bill Johnstone, Robert Dryden, and Nick Pryor. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the Sinus Medicines, Buick Motor Division, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the sound of suspense, to the theater of the mind, where on the unlimited stage of your imagination, we'll play out a drama of terror. Terror for three people who might be called babes in the wood. It's a frightening thing to lose your way, and even more terrifying if you're lost in an unfamiliar forest with nothing to give you a sense of direction. And that's where we find two escaped convicts, Hank Farley and Will Chase, fugitives from an army stockade, together with Hank's wife, Dolly, who tried to help them escape. But being lost is only a part of their problem.
Well, whatever it was, it's gone.
But it's still out there, somewhere. What are we going to do?
I think we ought to stay here. Till we starve? We've got to keep moving.
But Hank's leg...
Okay, look, I figure it's about early afternoon. Let's wait till the heat of the day passes. Give Hank's leg a rest, and then go on when it's cooler.
But if we can't find our way out before dark...
Then we spend another night in these woods.
With that thing out there?
That and God knows what else.
Our mystery drama, Escape, Escape, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Bob Juran and stars Teri, Keane, and Robert Dryden. It is sponsored in part by New Sugar-Free Diet 7-Up and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Welcome to a rainy August night in Louisiana. The lights of an army camp shine dimly through the sheet of water that falls from the coal black sky. Little rivers run in gullies across the deserted, muddy compound of the stockade. All is quiet except for the rain. And then...
Get down! Get down! They'll see us! We'll never make the fair. Shut up and do what I tell you. Let's go back. That'll really be the end of us. We killed one guard already. No, we're going to go down trying. This rain's on our side. The searchlights don't shine as far.
But we've got to get across that whole compound.
The next time the lights sweep past, we follow. Just behind. Now, get ready.
We won't be able to find the hole in the fence in this rain.
We'll worry about that when we get to the fence. Now, hold on. Here comes the light now. Stay just behind it. Ready? Go! Throw!
I can't go any faster!
We gotta beat that next swing of the light.
How much farther?
Can't tell in this rain.
Hey, the light's coming this way again.
Faster! Here's the fence.
Hey, the light!
I got more shots left. Now, keep your fingers crossed. Bullseye! I hit the light! Come on!
Be along this fence.
Yeah.
Charlie said the hole would be right next to the fourth post.
Yeah, damn rain has helped and it hasn't. Here's the hole. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right, you go first. Hurry.
I made it. Watch the right side. There's a barb.
Yeah.
Ow! Oh, my hip. I told you to watch it.
Yeah, that hurts. You can walk? Yeah, of course I can walk. It's not that bad. All right, come on.
Oh, I sure hope Dolly's there with the car.
She'll be there. She better be.
Yeah. Oh, we don't know the woods or the roads around here. Hank, are you sure you know which way to go?
No, I'm not sure. What am I, a miracle man? I'm as scared as you are, but we gotta keep going.
Charlie said head straight away from the fence for 1.5 miles to the road.
The trees block a lot of the rain. We'll get there. There's a clearing. It must be the road.
That looks like a car, Hank.
Huh?
It's too dark to be sure.
Keep moving.
It is a car, Hank. It's Dolly. She found the spot, okay?
Yeah. That's the convertible. I told you Dolly wouldn't let us down.
Hank, you made it.
Oh, bless you, Dolly, for being here. Okay, well, get in the back.
Thank God you made it, Hank. Oh, I have missed you so.
Time for that later, doll. All right, come on, get going.
Oh, hey, man, you sure are a mess.
Yeah, we had to crawl through the mud.
Yeah. Where are we heading?
Well, first to Masonville. We pick up the interstate there. I had a heck of a time finding my way in here. The rain didn't help either.
It helped us back to stockade.
What's the matter?
Oh, I ripped myself crawling through the fence.
Is it bad?
I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Well, maybe we should stop in Masonville.
Are you crazy? Oh, you'll be all right. We don't dare stop.
He's right. We'll keep going.
Oh, but...
what's the matter?
I just went past the road I'm supposed to take.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I turned right at the white signs coming in. So I'm supposed to turn left going out.
Well, we can't argue with you.
1 mile on this road. And then right at the cemetery.
Now what?
I know this was the road, but we should have come to the cemetery a long time ago.
We probably missed it in the rain. Maybe we should go back.
Yeah, we'll have to. That cemetery's my only guidepost. We're on dirt now. The road coming in here are all paved.
maybe we ought to stop and wait till daylight. Hey, there's a light up ahead. Let's ask. What are you, dummy? What do you think we are, tourists? They've had an alert out for us for an hour.
Well, look, maybe I should ask. You two stay in the car.
No, wait a minute. It might not be so bad. It's isolated out here. Maybe they haven't heard about it. And even if they have, it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
We're going to spend the night in that house.
What?
No use wandering around getting lost in the rain. We're all going in and help ourselves to their hospitality. Hello? Hello?
What do you want?
Our car broke down. Can we use your phone?
What happened to you?
Haven't you ever seen mud before?
Well, come on in. This is very kind of you, and this is... Call me Granny Good. That's how I'm called.
We're on our way to Masonville, Granny. Can we call a service station?
Oh, well, there's the phone. I don't know if Amos had come out this late.
Oh, we don't mind waiting. I'll just...
My phone! What did you do that for?
You just got some unexpected overnight company, and we don't want to be disturbed.
Oh, you've got some nerve.
Shut up. You got a radio?
Of course I got a radio. Oh, now I know what you want.
Shut up.
You're the prisoners that escaped from the army camp.
Didn't take them long to announce it.
They said you killed a guard. Hank, you didn't.
We had to.
Oh, murderers. Get out of my house. Get out.
You just shut up, old lady.
You murderers, you'll not stay in my house. Hank, an old woman. You'll be sorry for that. Murderer.
Shut up, I said. Get us some food.
You'll be sorry. Hank, why are you acting like this?
Leave me alone.
He's on edge, Dolly. We all are. The past couple of hours haven't been any picnic.
What is it?
Your hip again?
Yeah,
Well, here, sit down.
Okay. Look, could we have some warm water and bandages? My husband's been hurt. You expect me to nurse him? No, I just asked not for a murderer. Let him suffer.
Get the bandages.
Hank. Oh, all right, I'll get you some water. But don't think you scared me into it.
Come on, Hank. Now, relax, okay?
Coming here was your idea, Hank.
We got no other choice. We'll stay till daylight and then get moving.
Yeah, water and a bandage, and don't ask for anything more.
How about some food?
I don't have any food.
Yeah? What's in that pot on the fire?
Snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. You want some, sonny boy?
Don't get funny with me.
Hey, look, old lady, we're going to stay here till morning, so just get used to the idea, huh? Well, look around.
Yeah.
See if there's anything we can use, and find some food no matter what she says.
Hank, sit still. I'll fix your leg. Now, just a minute.
Granny.
The gun again. Why? Why do you want to frighten me? Barge in and treat me like this? I know you're escaped murderers. Why don't you just go and leave me alone?
Hey, well, did you find anything?
Nothing much. There's a storeroom back here full of empty bottles, every size and shape.
Oh, so Granny likes to put up her own, huh? Where are the full bottles, Granny?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where's your booze? I could use a drink right now.
There's no liquor here.
Find it, Will.
Right.
No, don't open that cabinet.
Open it, Will.
No, please.
It's locked. Open it.
Oh, please, don't. Get away from there. Hey, look at that.
Money.
It's mine.
Stacks and stacks of money. Just laying there.
Wow, that is something we can use.
No. Don't you dare touch that.
There's no hurry. We'll pack it up when we're ready to leave. All right, come on, Will. Wash up, and Dolly will find us something to drink. And eat.
You want some more salad?
No,
thanks, me neither.
Hey, wasn't a bad meal.
Yeah, better than that garbage at the army prison, eh, Hank?
I knew that old hag would soften up. Look at her, snoozing over there by the fire with her cauldrons and her cats. All she needs is a black-pointed hat.
Yeah. I could use some sleep myself.
They'll take turns. There's nothing that old Hank can do, but we better not take chances. She might run for help.
Yeah, still pouring rain, though.
That wouldn't stop her. And she knows her way around here.
Well, look, I'll stay up. I'm too nervous to sleep anyway. I don't like the way that one cat keeps staring at us.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's bugging me, too.
What are you two trying to do? Spook us all?
I'll just be glad when we're out of here. Hank, why don't we leave now? Granny will tell us how to get to the main road into Masonville just to get rid of us.
No way. She could get us really lost or direct us right back to the army base. Now, we'll wait for daylight.
She's waking up.
So what? I'm going to sleep.
You're all still here.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be gone by now. I told Rimba to send you away.
Who's Rimba?
My best friend. Aren't you, Rimba?
Well, maybe he didn't get the message.
It's that cat that's been staring at us.
Send them away, Rimba. You have the power. Send them away.
Hank, I'm frightened.
Keep that cat away from us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rimba. We've been hospitable long enough. Send them away.
If that cat comes any closer,
Hey! Rimba! Rimba! You've killed Rimba!
That cat was mad. It was attacking.
You killed Rimba. Now you'll pay. Murderers! You hit me, you steal my money, eat my food. You kill my cat. Oh, you'll pay with your lives. You have no more chances left.
Hank, I'm scared to death.
She's going crazy. She's throwing things on the fire.
Now, what can she do? That cat was going to...
Fire first, and then the ash. Golden powder from the sash. Powder mixed with basil green. Mandrake root and things unseen. Now a grain into the fire to test fulfillment of desire.
It blew up.
What's going on, Hank?
I don't know. She's putting on some show.
Look, I don't like it. We've got to get out of here.
Killers of my faithful friend, on thee the hate of hell descend. Now, once again into the fire, complete fulfillment of desire. No! I can't breathe. Get out of here. How can we get out of here? Can't see anything. Hey, Joey! Where are you? I'm suffocating. I'm over here. Hey! Where are you? Joey!
Well, that's one way of getting rid of unexpected and unwanted company. Smoke them out. And Granny is certainly within her rights when nothing but brutal treatment rewarded her hospitality. We'll see how our notorious trio makes out when I return shortly with Act 2.
The WBBM News Time, 10:53. Temperature in Chicago, 55 degrees at Midway Airport. On the lakefront, 58.
We return now to the rather bizarre scene at the cottage of old Granny Good. After being terrorized by her very rude and ungrateful guests, she struck back by filling the cottage with smoke from a powder she threw into the fire. And at this moment, her unexpected company is making a hasty retreat.
Oh, hey! Hank, I'm over here.
I see you. I can just make you out. We found the door. Hurry up. The smoke's getting worse. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I can breathe. Keep running. We'll get to the car. Hey. The rain stopped.
But it's so dark. I can't see either of you.
Oh, that's the way it is in the woods at night. The car ought to be right over here. We parked close to the cottage.
Oh, I can't see it.
Look, we can't see the lights in the cottage anymore.
Did we run that far?
No, it didn't seem like it. Let's double back.
Hank, please, do you know which way we're going?
Yeah, back the way we came. We gotta get to the car. But Hank, we... No. What happened? I walked into a tree. I can't see a darn thing. You got any matches? No, have you? No. Oh, come on, we'll feel our way. We could walk around in circles in this dark. Oh, we gotta wait for morning.
That old woman's probably on her way to the police right now.
How? On her broom? She couldn't get anywhere tonight. Will's right. We'll bed down here and wait till daylight.
Bed down? On this wet ground?
Okay. Let's relax. We can't walk around in circles. We'll have to make out as best we can right here. Yeah. It's not cold. Rain stopped. We'll just have to stay here till daylight. Then we'll see the cottage and get out of here. Hank, you awake? Yeah. It's getting light. Oh, yeah. Better get moving. Dolly. You all right, honey?
Oh, I'm so stiff.
You'll feel better once we get going. Hey, Dolly. Look. What? Where's the cottage?
It's gone.
Well, we couldn't have wandered that far away from it. Well, we did. We thought we were heading back for it in the dark. Instead, we were walking away from it.
What direction should we go?
Well, if we keep moving, we gotta come to a road sometime. Maybe the dirt road we came in on.
Okay. Hey, look. That looks like a path up ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the undergrowth isn't as thick up there. Well, path's gotta lead somewhere. What do? We go right or left, huh? Left. It seems to go up. Yeah. Maybe if we get to higher ground, we'll see the cottage. Oh, okay. We go left. Yeah.
Hank, suppose we can't find our way out of here. We don't have any water, any food.
Don't think like that, Dolly. We'll get out of here. We couldn't have come all that far from the cottage last night. We stopped walking after a few minutes. The cottage and that dirt road have to be close. Yeah.
But we may still be walking away from them. Hank, please, I gotta rest.
Yeah, okay. We'll stop for a while.
Oh.
My leg's bothering me, too. I'm dying of thirst.
We all are.
It's so blasted hot, too, and still.
Hank?
Huh?
Do you notice something?
Like what?
There's no sound.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, not a rustle. No birds.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen any animals either, like a squirrel or chipmunk or anything. It's unnatural. It's the heat.
I just wish we could find some water.
Well, look, you two stay here. Maybe I can scout around. No. No, we gotta stick together. Well, sitting here isn't gonna find us any water. Relax, will you? Dolly's tired. Well, so am I. But unless we keep going, we'll go when Dolly's rested.
All right, stop it. I'm okay. Will's right. We ought to keep going. Hey, look. Look at that tree over there.
Where? Huh?
To the left. No branches, just flowers at the top. If I wasn't so miserable, they would be almost beautiful.
It's probably a vine, like the bougainvilleas in California. When I was in L.A. one time... Hey, up ahead! It's a clearing.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we can get our bearings if we get out of this undergrowth. Come on.
Yeah, maybe there's a pond or a stream or something.
Look at... Wow. Look at the size of that rock.
That's bigger than a house.
And white. It's like a whole hill collapsed into a pile of white boulders. Like I'm gonna try and scale this one. Maybe I can get a clue about where we are.
Be careful.
It's not too bad. I can get a footing. Looks like about 30 feet up. It's a solid rock. Not a branch or a blade of grass. See anything? Not yet. I'm going higher. Take it easy. Wow. What a sight.
What is it?
Hundreds of these things. It's like a desert of white boulders. Far as you can see. Dead end? There's some funny-looking trees in the distance and... Yeah! It looks like a road. A road? How far? Well, it's hard to judge from here, but... maybe 2 miles. We'll have to cross over these rocks. Are you sure it's a road? Wait a second. Yeah, I'm sure. It is. It's a paved road running straight along the line of trees. Good. Okay, come on down.
Oh, Hank, we're finally getting out of here.
Yeah, but let's not waste any time. How much farther? We're almost to the road. You can see the line of trees. His leg's killing me. I think it's infected.
I've got to have some water.
It's not far now. We're coming out of the rocks now. Okay, where's the road? I don't know. It was along here. I saw it.
And nothing. Nothing but more jungle.
We're back in the woods. I know there was a road. You thought you saw a road, you damn idiot. That was a mirage. We come all this way for a mirage. Well, how was I to know?
God, we're lost. We're lost, Jack. We're lost.
Shut up, Dolly.
We're going to die here. I know it. We're never going to find out.
Stop it, will you? Okay. All right, we all got to rest now. The heat's getting to us. And I can't go another step on this leg without some rest. Oh, well, that's just great. What are we going to have to do, carry you?
You're going to have to carry me if I don't get some water.
Now, look, we've been pushing for hours. Let's try to calm down. All right, we're lost, but... What? Listen.
What is it?
What would someone be doing making a sound like that? Whoever it is probably won't know about us. We can ask him how to get out of here. He's got to know how he got in. Sounds like he's clearing brush.
He's coming closer. What is that?
Oh, my God! It looks like an ant! A giant ant! Oh, hey! It's as big as I am! All right, get back under these rocks. It hasn't seen us.
I'm going to be sick. Oh, Hank.
Down and quiet! Oh, my leg is hanging. It can't be an ant. Well, you saw it. But I don't believe it. What's it doing now? It looks like it's eating a plant. Oh, what are we going to do? Pray doesn't try to eat us.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! I can't stand it!
Will you shut up?
I think it's seen us. I heard it.
Yeah, it's waving those things on its head.
It's trying to find out where we are.
Don't anybody move a muscle. It'll stop moving.
We're just dreaming this. There can't be ants that big.
I think it spotted us.
I can't look. It's moving this way. It's moving.
We can't fight it.
We gotta get back under those boulders. They form a natural cave back there.
Yeah, well, I can't make it fast on this light.
You've got to. Take his arm, Dolly.
Oh, I can't move.
Okay. I'll make it on my own.
I can't move.
Hey, well, I'll drag myself.
It's attacking. No, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Give me a fast. Give me a hand, Hank. I'm not going to make it. Save Dolly. You'll make it. I'll get you in here. Dolly's all right. If a thing that big stings you, you're dead.
It can't reach us in here. We're okay now.
It can't be real. That can't be real.
That was straight out of a nightmare. I got chills all over.
I can't stop shaking.
So hideous.
Has it gone?
No.
It might be trying to find another way in.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh, that's an ugly thing. Oh, it's moving away. Back into the woods.
Oh, thank heaven.
How could an ant get to be that size? I mean, this isn't Mars. It's Louisiana.
What do you... Hey, maybe it's mechanical.
What? What do you mean, mechanical?
Well, some kind of vehicle the Army's been testing. Remote control, maybe. Oh, we've been walking in this heat for hours. No sleep, no food, no water. We could be imagining anything.
It tried to attack us. There was no vehicle.
Well, then how do you explain an ant as big as a lion?
I don't know.
Well, whatever it was, it's gone.
But it's still out there. Somewhere.
What else, indeed? Could there really be an ant as big as a lion? There are such things as mutations, we're told. I'd certainly hate to have one of them show up at one of my picnics. But if that's any indication of what lies ahead in this strange Louisiana wood, it won't be any picnic for Hank, Will, and Dolly when we return shortly with Act 3.
This is WBBM, Chicago News Radio 78.
No escape goes unpursued. And at the moment, while Hank, Will, and Dolly are considering their predicament, their pursuers are hot on the trail. Let's return to Granny Good's cottage as a car bearing the word sheriff on its doors winds its way up the road and then suddenly stops.
Something wrong, Sheriff? Yeah, that car by Granny Good's cottage. It's got out-of-state plates. Don't see many of them around here. Let's walk the rest of the way. Keep your gun handy. Well, they didn't chase for on foot when they left the stockade. They could have been picked up by somebody.
Hi, Roy.
Hi, Granny. Everything all right here?
No, it ain't. I just got finished burying Rimba, my favorite cat.
Whose car?
That belongs to the fellas I think you're looking for.
They've been here.
They were here. They're gone now.
Without their car?
Granny, this here is Major Thomas from the Army base where those two fellows escaped from. He's investigating.
How do, Major?
Hello, Miss Good. You say they were here and then left without their car, is that right?
Last night, a few hours after they came. And good riddance. They're nothing but murderers. They killed my cat, my Rimba. And they hit me, tried to steal my money.
Yeah, well, now, if they didn't take their car, where'd they go?
I don't know. It was pouring rain. They run out into the woods. There's a girl with them.
She drove the getaway car.
She said she was the wife of one of them.
Yep, Hank Farley's wife. Chase wasn't married.
Oh, well, come on in out of the heat. I have lemonade ready.
All right, tell us what happened last night, Granny.
Well, Roy, they bust in here around 10 o'clock.
Oh, they traveled fast. First alarm went out at 9.
They were all covered with mud. But I'd heard it on the radio. I knew who they were. And they pulled the phone out of the wall.
But what made them leave? How'd they run into strange woods they didn't know?
Oh, it beats me. Oh, here's your lemonade, Major.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Roy?
Oh, thank you.
Major, I don't think you're ever going to find them. Those woods out there, one wrong step and you're lost forever.
I don't think we ought to wait any longer.
I'm not moving from here. Not while that thing is out there.
Dolly, it's gone.
Gone where? If we go into the woods again, it'll find us.
Well, we can't stay here forever. We got to keep trying. We'll keep out of the woods for a while. Look down there. It's like a sandy path along the edge of the forest. Yeah. But let's follow that. Okay.
No.
Now, Dolly, we've got to.
Hank, I'm afraid.
Once we get going, you'll feel better. It's sitting around here imagining things that's getting to us. Come on. Come on, I'll help you.
Guess I don't have any choice. Oh, I'm so thirsty.
How's that leg, Hank? Oh, boy, it hurts like the devil. But I don't have any choice either.
Is anything out there?
No. Not a sound either. Okay. Let's go. You know, seems to be getting lighter. Hey, we're coming to something.
What do you mean, coming to something?
Oh, another clearing, maybe. The sand strip's getting wider. Look, it's like a desert. They have deserts in Louisiana? Well, what do you call that? There's nothing but more sand up ahead.
Oh, it's better than jungle.
Well, what do you think? Should we go across? We don't know what's on the other side. Well, we don't know what's behind us either. I'm going to move up a bit. See if there's anything to give us a bearing. Sand's deeper here. You sink in over your ankles.
Well, be careful.
See anything? Yeah. Hey, what's the matter? I don't know. It's as though something hit me, but there's nothing here. Well, you all right? Well, I will be when I find out what the... Boy, Hank, this is the damnedest thing. What is it? It's a force field of some kind.
What do you mean?
Force field? Look, we're standing here. Now walk straight ahead. Slowly. Okay. It knocks you back. Stay back, Dolly.
Don't worry.
Now I'm convinced of it. We're wandering around an army testing ground. This is another one of their experiments.
Is there a way around it?
Somewhere, probably. Yeah, but where? You can actually reach out and touch it. It's like feeling your way along an invisible wall. You know what this means? We're right back in prison again. Our only escape is into the waiting hands of Major Thomas. We'll have to go back.
Go back to where?
Well, Hold up a second. Look off there to the left. Nothing but sky. I think the land drops away at the edge of the woods.
Oh, let's find out. Maybe we can get a bearing, huh?
Oh, Hank, I'm so tired. I can't keep going.
Okay, honey, okay. Sit here for a few minutes. Will and I want to check out that cliff.
Hey, we're high, all right. Nothing but space out there. Don't go so close to the edge. Look down there, will you? Did you ever see anything like it?
No.
The strangest looking plants I've ever seen. It's not like the woods anymore.
Yeah, tall, spindly things and flowers. Don't make sense.
Look at this thing. Over here.
Ah!
Whoa! Hang on! I'm sliding!
What's happened?
I can't stop! It's going down the cliff!
What can we do?
Stop it!
Watch it!
Hey, wait a minute! He's grabbed hold of a plant. Hey, Will! Are you all right?
He can't hear you.
He seems okay. He's pulling himself up on the plant.
Hank! Look! Oh, my God! The plant's crushing him. It's closing around him.
It can't be!
Oh, Hank, do something. The plant is swallowing him. We're never going to get out of this place. I know that. We can't get out.
Dolly, please, don't let go.
We're not in Louisiana. We're in hell. When I was a little girl, I used to have bad dreams about hell. My mama would say, Dolly, if you're not a good girl, the devil will get you. And you'll go to that place.
Stop it,
and I'd
Dolly.
go to bed and I would think about hell. And I'd dream about it. Oh, God. Now I'm here.
Oh, honey.
Oh, Mama. Can I have a drink of water, Mama? I promise I won't call again, Mama.
Oh, Dolly.
It's so dark. And I'm so thirsty. Mama, don't make me get out of bed. Oh, please. Water. I hear water. It's water.
Dolly, don't go out there.
It's water. It's dripping off that big leaf. It's water at last.
Dolly, come back here. Dolly! It's after the water, too. It's the end.
Help me!
I can't move.
Well, thank you for the lemonade, Mr. Good, and the information.
I'll have Fred and Tony up here in about 20 minutes.
Oh, whatever you think best.
And I'll get the phone company out to fix your phone before dark. You can't be without that.
Oh, I'd appreciate it, Roy.
All right, we'll be in touch, Granny.
Major, are you married?
Well, yes, I am.
Well, then I'd be most happy if you'd take this to your wife. A little token of my appreciation.
Why, it's very beautiful.
Well, it's a terrarium. I see you've been admiring it.
Granny's terrariums are famous around these parts, Major. Everybody buys them. My wife's got one with a plant that eats meat.
That's the Venus flytrap. There's one in this glass, too.
Well, thank you very much. My wife will really enjoy it.
My pleasure. Oh, something wrong, Major?
Well, I thought I saw something moving in there.
Well, it might be an ant. Sometimes they're in the earth when I plant them. It does no harm.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Good, and don't worry. We'll get those men.
Well, you never know. You might be closer than you think.
After all, this is the age of miniaturization, and even witches have to keep up with the times. It appears that Granny Good reduced her problem to the smallest common denominator and arrived at a satisfactory solution. It also strikes me as a convenient way to lose weight or avoid a bill collector, unless, of course, one goes too far and finds himself reduced to nothing. I'll be back shortly. Hank, Will, and Dolly might well have heeded a popular saying before tampering with Granny Good. Never underestimate the power of a woman, particularly one with lots of cats and a cauldron bubbling over the fire. We'll be stirring up some more suspense and terror for you on our next Mystery Theater tale. So do join us again. Our cast included Teri Keane, Robert Dryden, Bob Caliban, and Bryna Rayburn. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour allergy capsule, Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser, and the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. How nice to see you again. It's good to know that you've become a regular visitor. And since you're such a good customer, it's only fair to warn you that the story you're about to hear may be a little bit more disturbing than most. If the sounds of a woman screaming in utter terror unnerve you, then perhaps you may not want to listen to a tale called Where Fear Begins. It's a story about exactly that, fear. But perhaps the best way to find out is to hear what happens to Amanda Shepard on a dark night when moonlight streams through her window, but not just moonlight.
Oh, good Lord, something flew in here. It's right in my room. Oh! It's not a bird! It's a bat! It's trying to get in my hair! Ah! It's in my hair! It's all tangled up in my hair!
Our mystery drama, Where Fear Begins, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Kim Hunter. It is sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal and new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
62 degrees in Chicago, the WBBM News Time, 10:35, as we return to CBS Mystery Theater.
The night is still and peaceful in the small town known as Manassas Valley. Most nights are peaceful here. And one person who enjoys that stillness is Miss Amanda Shepard. The big city is only 50 miles away, but for Amanda, it might as well be 50,000. But there are many ways to shorten distances. And tonight, something is going to happen that will destroy the peace and stillness of Amanda Shepard's life.
Yes. Hello.
Amanda, is that you?
Yes. Who's this?
It's Vera.
Vera? Oh, for heaven's sake, what's the matter with you? Don't you know what time it is?
Amanda, I need help. You've got to help me.
What are you talking about? Where are you?
Amanda, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm so frightened. You've got to help me.
Listen, are you drunk?
You've got to come out here. You've got to stay with me.
Vera, will you please make some sense? It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm 50 miles away.
Well, then come. Tomorrow, come. Oh, please. Please come as soon as you can.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Vera, I've got a class to teach tomorrow. Come to think of it, it's even worse than that. I have a faculty meeting.
Amanda, don't you understand? I need you. Don't make me explain. Just come.
All right. Look, I can't promise when I'll be there exactly. Where are you staying? Vera? Vera, what's the address? Did you hear me? Vera, are you still there? Vera! Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am. What can I get you?
Nothing, thanks. I was looking for the manager.
So are his creditors.
Well, maybe you can help me. Have you worked here long?
Truth is, I don't work here now. I'm what you might call a guest bartender.
Oh, I see.
Tell me anyway.
I'm trying to find someone. I know she no longer works here. She told me she quit her job about 2 months ago, but it's the last bit of information I have about her.
Who is her exactly?
Her name is Vera Shepard. Do you know her by any chance?
Nope, I can't say I do.
Well, she called me last night and sounded as if she was in trouble. I'm almost tempted to call the police, but knowing Vera could just be some of her melodramatics. Well, thank you anyway.
It's okay. Hey, wait a minute.
Yes?
This Vera Shepard, is she blonde, pretty, about your height?
Yes.
There's a girl I met in an encounter group last month. Her last name was Shepard, but her first name was Roxanne.
Roxanne? Well, that could be her. She always hated the name Vera. She was always threatening to change it. Look, have you any idea where she might be living?
Sure. She lives with me.
What?
In the same rooming house. Upstairs. In indescribable squalor, I might add. What's a nice lady like you doing with a friend like Roxy?
She's my sister.
Ouch. Well, excuse me, I think I'll go see if I can pry my foot out of my mouth.
Wait a minute. Where's this squalid rooming house of yours?
Number 9 Hudson Street, near the river. If you see a bum sleeping in the doorway, that's the place. Hey, you weren't thinking of going there now.
Of course.
It's not a good idea. Now, you can't go into a neighborhood like that looking the way you do.
What's wrong with the way I look?
Wait a minute. My friend Tony will be back here in 5 minutes to take over the bar. I'll go with you.
Well, I'm sure I can find it alone.
Some pretty bad customers around there.
Well, they don't look any better here.
You can trust me. Underneath this dirty shirt beats a heart of pure soap.
All right.
Careful of those stairs. They're in bad shape.
How can people live in a place like this?
Nobody lives here. We exist on another plane. Our bodies may wallow in filth, but our souls live in penthouses.
Is that what you learned in your encounter group?
Well, here's her door. The grand portal of the Princess Roxanne.
She has a radio on.
I hope that isn't all she has on. Princess is a little hard of hearing.
She must be home. Let me try. Vera? Vera, are you in there?
Might be asleep or stoned. Maybe she just went out and left the radio on.
Look, I'm terribly worried about her. She really sounded dreadful. She said she was frightened about something.
I could always break the door in. It's pretty flimsy.
Do you think we should?
Just say the word.
All right. Please.
That's the word. By the way, what did you say your name was?
Amanda Shepard.
My name is Kurt Davies. Pleased to meet you. That was easy. Come on in.
What an awful place.
I told you, indescribable squalor.
The bedroom must be in here. Vera? Vera, it's me. It's Amanda. Oh, my... Vera! Oh, my God!
What is it? Is she sick?
Look at her. Look at her eyes.
Easy, take it easy. I don't think she's breathing.
She's dead. Oh, my God, my poor sister is dead.
Hi, Miss Shepard. If you think you can talk about it now, let's get a few of the facts straight.
There's only one thing you have to get straight, Lieutenant Duryea. Somebody did this to my sister.
Yeah, you told me. How long were you two separated?
A little over a year. She left Manassas Valley about 14 months ago.
What for? Just to come to the big city?
I suppose that was her reason.
Any other reason you know about? Was there a man, for instance?
There was a man, all right, but not what you're thinking. Vera had a fight with our father.
Your father live in Manassas Valley?
Yes, my sister and I never got along very well with him.
The both of you?
Yes, both of us. But then Vera had this fight with him, and she packed her bags and left. She had some idea of becoming an actress or a singer or something like that.
Did she?
No. I don't know what she became here.
And when she called you last night, what did she say exactly?
She just said she was scared. Scared out of her wits, and I heard this terrible scream. Lieutenant, there's only one explanation. Somebody was after her. Somebody was in her apartment last night and killed her.
I'm sorry, Miss Shepard, but this is no murder case.
But you saw her eyes. You saw the way she looked as if she'd been frightened to death.
There's just no such thing, Miss Shepard. At least not on the law books. Your sister suffered a cardiac arrest. That's a heart attack.
I can't believe that. That look on her face.
It was just a death agony. That's all you saw.
Somebody was after her. Some man, probably. I'm sure of it.
Maybe she was scared because she was sick.
There was nothing wrong with her health.
Look, the medical examiner knows his business, miss. Of course, if you want to insist on an autopsy, that's your privilege.
An autopsy? That means cutting her open.
That's what it means.
And if it proved you were wrong? That she didn't die of natural causes?
Oh, we'd be the first to admit it.
All right, then. I want an autopsy. Look, I'm sure that something horrible happened to Vera.
Okay, whatever you say, Miss Shepard. I'll be in touch with you. Oh, where will you be staying?
I'll be staying right here.
I just don't see how you can live in that place.
Well, the rent's been paid until the end of the month. There's no reason I should stay anywhere else.
Thought you had a job in Manassas Falls.
Manassas Valley. And I do have a job. I teach school. I've already asked for a leave of absence. Look, I'm not leaving here until the police do something about this.
You may have a long wait.
It doesn't matter how long. I know something happened to my sister, and nobody seems to care.
Listen, I'll be taking care of the bar for another couple of hours. Why don't I meet you later for a drink or something?
No, I have to get home. I have to call my father, and I have to get some sleep. I'm so dreadfully tired.
Okay, but if you need a friend, remember, I live one floor away.
Yes, I'll remember. Dad, there was no way I could make the funeral arrangements yet.
Why not?
Because the police are performing an autopsy on Vera's body to determine the exact cause of death.
But I thought you told me she had a heart attack.
Yes, but I still thought it'd be wise to learn more about it. Dad, she was only 26 years old.
Yeah, but she wasn't a well girl, Amanda. You know that. She had rheumatic fever when she was a child.
All seemed perfectly well to me. Look, Dad, I'm just not satisfied about this. That's all there is to it. That's why I'm not coming home until I find out more.
You're a stubborn woman, Amanda. You're just as stubborn as your mother was.
All right, Dad. I'll try to speak to you again tomorrow.
Oh, what's the hurry? You haven't talked 3 minutes with yet.
I'm exhausted. I've got to get some sleep. Goodbye, Dad. How can I sleep? How can I? I know I'm just going to lie awake all night. Just thinking about Vera. Oh, Lord, why did I decide to stay in this horrible place? I have to clean it up tomorrow. It's so filthy. At least that'll give me something to do. Oh, if only I could sleep. I wonder if Vera has anything in the medicine cabinet. Won't hurt to look. What a mess of bottles. Half of them are empty. What's this one? Aspirin. Oh, wait a minute. This one's marked. For sleep, thank God. It's the only way I'll get to close my eyes tonight. What is it? It sounds like someone at the door. At the front door. Well, 1 minute. All right, I'm coming. I can just find my slippers. Who is it? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, who's out there? Who is it? Who's out there? Go away! Go away! Whoever you are, go away! The door! The box is broken! It's coming in here! Oh, God! It's coming in! Ah! Oh, dear Lord, help me! Help me, somebody! Ah!
Well, now that's what I would call an unexpected visitor. Of course, there are neighborhoods in every large city that have their share of gorillas, but they're customarily of the human variety. How did this specimen get to Amanda Shepard's apartment? I'd be glad to tell you, but that would be spoiling the surprises that follow when I return shortly with Act 2. And now, here's the second act of Where Fear Begins. Well, it appears that no harm has come to our friend Amanda Shepard, unless you call a good case of hysteria harm. But now there's another visitor to the apartment, Kurt Davies, who quickly raced up the stairs when he heard her cries for help.
I saw it. I saw it. So help me. I saw a gorilla, an ape. I don't know what you call it.
Sure you saw it, Amanda, but in a dream.
I know the difference between a dream and reality. It was a real gorilla. It broke the door in.
No, honey. I'm the one who busted in the door, remember? And first thing tomorrow, you got to get a lock on it.
Kurt, please listen to me. This was real. I know it was. This animal tried to get in here and kill me. When I started to scream, it went away.
Amanda, I didn't see any gorilla coming out of this place. I mean, wouldn't I have seen it, too?
Well, maybe it's hiding somewhere in the building. Maybe it has a hiding place.
This is really crazy.
Look, maybe that's what Vera saw. Maybe that's what she was horribly frightened about.
Amanda, have you ever searched this apartment?
Searched it? What for?
Well, maybe you'd find something. Letters, a diary, maybe.
Oh, Vera never kept a diary.
It's worth a try, isn't it? Come on, let's look right now. I'll help you.
Why? Why should you want to help me?
Why not?
You don't really care what happened to my sister. You hardly knew her.
Maybe I didn't want to know her.
Why not?
What's the point of knocking the dead?
No, tell me, please. Why didn't you like Vera?
I didn't like Roxanne because she called herself Roxanne when her name was Vera. I didn't like the way she spent her time looking for one kick after the other, even if it meant kicking somebody else in the teeth.
Was she really like that?
Look, it's late. Maybe you should go back to bed. We'll search the place another time.
No, you're right. I should have done this before. Yeah, I remember seeing something in the bedroom, as a matter of fact.
See what?
It looked like an address book. Wait, I'll get it.
Maybe it is a diary. A record of all the kicks she got out of life.
No, it's in a address book. Not too many names in it.
Let me see if I'm in it. No, guess I didn't make that much of an impression.
Do you recognize anybody's name?
Let's see. There's Tony's. That's the place where I work.
I thought you were only a guest bartender.
It's only temporary. Till my rich uncle in Argentina dies. That is, if I have a rich uncle. Wait a minute.
What'd you find?
Are you sure your sister was healthy?
Well, my father doesn't agree, but I think she was, yes.
I mean healthy in the head. Ever occur to you that the call she made to you that night was just... Well, that she might have been wigging out?
Oh, no. Look, I'm sure Vera wasn't crazy.
Well, the reason I ask is she has Dr. Swaley's number in her book.
Who?
Dr. Raymond Swaley. I've heard of him.
What kind of a doctor is he?
I suppose you could call him a shrink, but I think he calls himself a psychologist. If your sister Vera was all that together, would she be seeing someone like that?
I don't know.
How would you like me to see Dr. Swaley and ask him?
No, the name isn't familiar, I'm afraid. But I won't trust my memory. I have a book that my secretary keeps for me.
She might have called herself Roxanne Shepard.
Very neat alphabetical book. Miss Riegelman tends to be a little compulsive about her record keeping. I'll have to explore her subconscious one of these days. No, there's no one of that name who was my patient.
Maybe you knew her personally.
Oh, I'm quite sure I didn't.
Yeah, but your name was in her address book.
She might have heard about me.
You mean she might have taken down your name but never called you?
That's possible, isn't it?
I guess so.
How old did you say the girl was?
26.
Pity. And the cause of death?
They called it cardiac arrest, but her sister doesn't believe it. She insisted that an autopsy be performed.
Was it?
Yes.
And the result?
Negative. It was heart failure, all right.
Well, then, why isn't the lady satisfied?
Because she still thinks that people can die of fright. Pure and simple fright.
Look, what's the use of my staying any longer, Kurt? I'm just packing up Vera's things and leaving.
You want me to help you?
No, I'm just taking everything that belonged to her, not even trying to sort it out.
Don't forget the stuff in the medicine cabinet. I'll bring it to you.
Most of the bottles are empty.
So I see, but this one isn't. What's this, Amanda?
Sleeping pills. I took one of them last night. Hey, wait a minute. Let me see that again. Kurt, look. The label.
How about it?
It says Dr. Swaley.
What?
You said that Swaley denied that Vera was his patient, yet he prescribed these sleeping pills.
Are you sure?
Well, see for yourself.
Well, what do you know? Now, why would he lie about something like that?
I don't know. He must be hiding something. And I have to know what it is.
Yeah, but how? If he lied to me once, he'll lie again.
What if I went to see him?
But I told him about you, about your being Vera's sister.
What if I didn't go there as Vera's sister? If I went as a patient? I'm so miserable all the time, Doctor. So depressed and nervous. I don't want to wake up in the morning. I want to go right on sleeping, hibernating from the world. Do you think you can help me?
Well, that all depends. How much do you know about my treatment?
Well, not really very much. Just that I've heard you've been able to help people.
But you must have also heard that my therapy isn't quite orthodox.
Well, no, I guess I've never heard that.
Oh, don't be alarmed. Basically, I'm a Freudian. I believe in the theory of the subconscious.
But I look at it slightly differently. I call the subconscious the dungeon of the human mind, the place where we hide all our guilty fears. The conscious mind tries to forget their existence, but they cry out and rattle their chains and make our lives miserable. Do you understand?
I think so.
Personally, I believe that fear is the true enemy of mental health. What I try to do for my patients is eliminate fear. We're all afraid of something, aren't we? Right now, you look as if you're afraid of me.
No, I'm really very interested.
It's one thing to know what we fear. Insects, mice, grizzly bears, high places. But many of our fears are so buried in our minds that we forget their existence. Do you ever have nightmares, Miss Lewis?
Yes. In fact, I had one just the other night. I dreamt that a gorilla tried to break into my apartment. It was, so terribly real.
Are you especially afraid of gorillas?
I've never even thought about them, not since I was... For heaven's sake.
You were about to say, not since you were a child.
Yes, when I was a child, only 4 years old. I'd forgotten all about it.
But you remember now.
Yes, my father took me to the zoo. I was having a good time until he brought me to the gorilla cage.
And it frightened you.
Well, at first I was fascinated. I'd never seen anything like it before, but so much like a man and not a man. So Daddy picked me up so I could get a better look. And it reached for me. It reached out for me. Oh, God, how could I have forgotten that? I screamed at the top of my lungs.
And just the other night, you screamed again?
Yes. Isn't it incredible?
But don't you see what happened? You relived this fearful event of your childhood, what we call a traumatic experience. Now that you've done it, faced it, perhaps you've also uprooted it, along with other repressed fears.
Oh, I don't know about that. All I know is I was absolutely terrified.
Terrified, yes, but perhaps also purified. Miss Lewis, I'm sure you've heard of LSD, haven't you?
LSD? Oh, yes, of course. It's that drug that makes you see hallucinations.
No, it isn't the only drug, you know. There's mescaline, psilocybin, and a new derivative of LSD-25, which I've developed, known as EN30.
I don't understand.
Well, LSD is the chemical shorthand for lysergic acid and diethylamide. A very small amount can produce hallucinations of every form and variety. EN30 is rather different. It produces only one kind of hallucinatory affect. The effect of fear.
Fear?
Some people call it, incorrectly, the horror drug. It's a powerful hallucinogen, dangerous when used carelessly, but extremely useful under controlled conditions. It goes right to the sub-basement of human consciousness and brings up images from the very place where fear begins, the dungeon of our minds.
You mean it makes people see the things that they're afraid of?
Yes. Usually the things which frightened us when we were children.
And what makes it dangerous? The fact that we might be scared to death?
Oh, scared to death is a highly inexact term. But in certain cases...
In the case of a heart condition...
Oh, I would never administer the drug to anyone with such a history.
How long does the effect last?
It varies greatly among individuals, but like LSD, the effect can often be cyclical. That is, the hallucinations can return on a cyclical basis, even if no EN30 has been taken for several days. This is one reason why controlled use is very important.
Dr. Swally, are you giving this drug to all your patients?
Oh, no, my dear. Only to a few, and under strictest supervision. And, of course, with their complete understanding and agreement.
I see. Yes, I really think I understand now, Doctor.
Listen, Amanda, do you know what you're saying? You're accusing Swally of being a criminal.
That's why he lied to you. He was afraid to admit that Vera was his patient because he gave her this horror pill of his. And she died.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
I don't know it. He says he never gave anyone the pill except under controlled conditions. But he lied. He said he'd never give one of those things to someone with heart trouble, but he gave one to Vera.
Look, you're all worn out. You better get to sleep, and we'll talk about it in the morning.
I'm going to the police in the morning, Kurt. Will you go with me?
Amanda, I've already been to the police.
What?
I saw Lieutenant Duryea.
But why?
I've been worried about this undercover game you've been playing. So I talked to Duryea, told him about what you were doing and what you suspected.
And?
Duryea made a check of Swally's records, Amanda. He made it part of the routine police inquiry into your sister's death.
What are you trying to say?
Swally wasn't lying about it.
What?
He wasn't lying about your sister. She was never his patient.
But the sleeping pills...
They must have belonged to one of your sister's roommates, or maybe she just swiped them from somebody else's house. Didn't you tell me that Vera was always swiping things?
Oh, Kurt... Then I'm wrong. It wasn't his fault.
That's the way it looks. If your sister was having nightmares, she was having them on her own.
Oh, it's so warm in here. It's too warm to sleep. I've got to open that window or I'll suffocate. It's so hard to open. Oh, there. Whew, that should help a little. What was that? Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord, something flew in here. It's right in my room. Ah! It's not a bird, it's a bat. It's trying to get in my hair. Oh, it's in my hair. It's all tangled up in my hair.
What is there about a bat which fills almost all of us with dread? Is it the cape-like wings, the rat-like face, the raking claws, the terrifying screech of their voices? Can anyone blame Amanda Shepard for the cry of horror she emits when that winged monster comes flapping into her room? Or was there really a bat? Was it only a creature of her imagination? We'll learn the answer when we return shortly with Act 3.
This is WBBM Chicago.
Amanda Shepard has had another nightmare. A dream so vivid that she lies in her bed this morning in a state of shock, still unable to believe that the bat which flew into her room the night before isn't still entangled in her hair.
It may have been the heat, Amanda. This building is a real hot box when the weather turns warm.
Yes, I don't know, maybe that's all it was. Maybe I had some kind of a heat stroke.
You ask me, you ought to get out of this apartment right now. Maybe that's another reason you have bad dreams. This place is depressing you.
Yes, you're right. There's no point in my staying here anymore. The police have proved that, haven't they?
You just have to accept the truth. Your sister died because she died.
And I guess that means I should go back.
Doesn't mean you have to go back to Manassas Valley. Listen, have you ever thought of teaching right here in the city? We've got an awful lot of kids here who
No, Kurt. No, it's time for me to go home.
So the whole thing was a waste of time, wasn't it?
I suppose so, Dad.
I told you you've been stubborn, wasting 2 weeks on a wild goose chase.
Dad, don't you understand? Vera died without either one of us being there. She died all alone, in agony.
And whose fault was that? Who told her to leave home?
All right. Let's not talk about it anymore.
Oh, now you even sound like your mother. Whenever she didn't want to hear the truth, she'd ask me not to talk about it
We've
anymore.
said it all, haven't we? I'm going to bed early. I've been sleeping very badly lately.
Amanda, wait.
Yes, Dad?
Look, why does it have to be this way between us.
I don't know what you mean.
It's been like this for years. This wall of ice between you and me. What put it there? I've asked myself 1,000 times, and I still don't know the answer.
Maybe you'll never know, Dad.
Oh, I know it started right after your mother died. That was when you turned against me. You and Vera both.
Oh, please, Dad. We'll discuss it some other time. I'm really too tired.
Oh, no, you'll never discuss it with me. You'll just go on hating me for the rest of your life.
I don't hate
I
you.
saw the look in your eyes the day your mother died. I saw the way you looked at me, Amanda.
I don't remember how I looked at you. How could I? I was in a state of shock.
You were in a state, all right. And you've never snapped out of it.
Please, Dad.
All right, go to bed. No use trying to reach you. Never been any use.
Hi, handsome. Hey, this is turning into a permanent job for you, isn't it?
I guess I'm just a natural-born bartender, that's all. What can I get you tonight?
Well, how about a Manhattan? Did you learn how to make one of those?
I'll give it a try.
Hey, how's your blonde friend these days?
Which one? I know a half a dozen blondes.
You know the one I mean. The one who looks like a school teacher.
She is a school teacher.
No kidding. And where is she now?
Going back to teaching school, I guess.
Hey, you really liked her, didn't you? That's what I heard around.
I liked her. But she's strictly a small-town girl.
Is it true that she was Roxy's sister?
That's right.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? That Roxy Shepherd would have a sister like that. Hey, did you know that I was her last roommate?
What?
That's right. I paid half the rent on that filthy pad of hers. I couldn't stand it more than 1 week. She was stoned all the time, you know.
Yeah, I figured she hit the stuff pretty hard.
That girl would take anything, as long as there was a kick in it. She even went to some doctor just to get some kind of pill he was handing out.
What'd you say?
She heard about some nutty kind of LSD that a shrink was using on his patients. She told me she was going to see him and get some...
Hold it a second. Do you know the shrink's name?
No.
Was it Swally? Dr. Raymond Swally?
Well, how should I know?
Well, I've got to know.
How many times do I have to tell you I never had a patient by that name? If you don't believe me, ask the police.
All right, maybe you never had a patient named Shepherd, but maybe she didn't give you her right name, first or last.
I'm quite sure you're mistaken about this. I've only administered EN30 treatment to 4 patients. I can assure you this girl wasn't one of them.
Dr. Swally, will you just look at this photograph?
Oh, all right.
Now, look, does she look at all familiar?
Nope. I never treated her.
Look carefully. It's a professional portrait. She thought she wanted to be an actress, and she's pretty heavily made up.
Never saw this woman before.
Well, I guess I'm wrong. All right, Doctor. Sorry I bothered you again.
Wait. Just a minute.
Something come to you?
She does look familiar. She wasn't a patient, but I have seen her before.
Where?
Right here in my office. She came in without an appointment. That's why there was no record of her. She just sat outside and waited.
And did you see her?
Just for a few minutes. Just long enough to realize that she wasn't interested in therapy. All she wanted was the drug.
EN30.
I told her that I wouldn't accept her as a patient, that she wasn't nearly stable enough. I gave her a prescription for a mild sleeping compound, nothing else. But then...
Then what?
Well, I don't know this for certain. I could be mistaken about it.
About what, Doctor?
I always suspected that she might have been the one who stole those pills.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Vera Shepherd stole some EN30 from you?
I can't prove it. It wasn't until days later that I missed them. I remember stepping out of the room for a few minutes to take a call from a hysterical patient.
Dr. Swally, Vera Shepherd was a klepto. Her sister told me that she stole things all the time. If she stole those pills of yours...
Good Lord. Can it really be? The dosage was so large, too large for safety. If she took them, anything might have happened.
Something did happen. She had a nightmare, Doctor. She conjured up a nightmare so terrible that it killed her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. You know that wasn't my intention.
Oh, wait a minute. You did say that you gave her a prescription for sleeping pills.
Yes, I did. I doubt that she ever filled it. It was the E30 she really wanted.
Then what was in that bottle? What were the pills her sister took?
Her sister?
Dr. Swally, I've got to get to a telephone.
Hello?
Hello, is Amanda Shepard there?
Oh, yes, she's here, but she's asleep right now. Who is this?
Is this Mr. Shepard?
Oh, that's right. Can I take a message?
Mr. Shepard, you don't know me. I met your daughter in the city, but it's very important that I speak to her right away.
Well, I'm sorry, but I told you she's fast asleep.
Would you know if she's taken anything to help her sleep?
Well, as a matter of fact, I thought I did see her take something. She's very
Listen,
tired.
Mr. Shepard, you've got to get a doctor for her right now. I know it sounds crazy, but if she took a pill that her sister was using, she may be in danger.
Well, wait, what are you talking about?
I'm driving out there, but your daughter may be in terrible danger right now.
Who is it? Who's there?
It's your father, Amanda. Let me in.
Dad? The door's open.
I can't open it, Amanda. You'll have to open it for me.
All right.
See why I couldn't open the door, Amanda. I have your mother. I have to hold your mother.
Oh, God, she's bleeding. She's covered with blood.
I warned her, Amanda. I said I would kill her one day, and now I've done it. I've killed your mother. Now it's all right, darling. It's all right, baby. You're okay now.
Oh, my God. Oh, Daddy.
It's just a dream, honey. Just a bad dream.
Daddy, please hold me. Don't let me go.
No, Amanda. No. I won't let you go.
That's what Dr. Swally told me himself, Amanda. He's discontinuing the use of EN30. Says it's far too dangerous to take any more chances with. Frankly, I think he's right.
Kurt, do you know what my hallucination was?
What?
I saw my father walking into the bedroom, carrying my mother's dead body.
Ouch, that must have been pretty grim.
Well, the strange part is, it reminded me of something. Something I'd forgotten a long time ago.
What was that?
When I was a little girl, I used to hear my father and mother arguing downstairs, fighting with each other night after night. Well, I was so afraid.
Well, it's understandable.
But do you know what I was afraid of? I was afraid that my father was going to kill my mother.
That's an awful thought.
Well, it wasn't true, of course, but it was a fear that stayed with me all this time. But now I feel as if I can get rid of it. Kurt, I know it sounds crazy, but wouldn't it be something if it turns out that Dr. Swally had the right idea?
Well, personally, I don't think I would care very much for that kind of shock treatment. In fact, I think I'd rather have my neurosis than gorillas, bats, and so forth in my house. But to each his own, huh? I'll be back shortly. In case you're wondering, all characters, events, and wonder drugs in this drama are purely fictitious. No, I'm sorry to say there is no such thing as EN30. If you want to get turned on to fear and trembling, however, you can always turn on the Radio Mystery Theater. We promise you large doses of mystery, suspense, and terror. Our cast included Kim Hunter, Mason Adams, Alan Hewitt, Ian Martin, and Phoebe Doran. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the Sinus Medicines, Buick Motor Division, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.